touch of red meat or shellfish because I have gout. Gout is a disease that makes my acid levels much higher than most people's. And so if I eat certain foods, my acid level elevates, skyrockets, and then I get all giant swelling and incredible pain in my joint.
Hey. Gout walk. Little gin, little door, that shrimp make the gout hot. I can feel it in my toes, let's go, it's the gout walk. Stomach cold, so froze, you know I got the gout rocks. Take a 20-minute break, I'ma hit him with a gout walk. Sushi daddy, I'ma tear it up. Oh shit, here comes another flare up. DoorDash me a little aloe vera, a bowl of penne and a side of marinara. I could introduce you to the gout. Fatty foods every time when I go out. Bitch, I'm too fast, why I pass out? Where the cherry juice at? Need a glass now. Gout. Gotta go and see the doc. Man, it's like a couple blocks. Hold up, another $100 shot. Now I'ma hit him with a walk. Hey, what walk? Gout walk. Little gin, little door, that shrimp make the gout hot. I can feel it in my toes, let's go, it's the gout walk. Stomach cold, so froze, you know I got the gout rocks. Take a 20-minute break, I'ma hit him with a gout walk. Little gin, little door, that shrimp make the gout hot. I can feel it in my toes, let's go, it's the gout walk. Stomach cold, so froze, you know I got the gout rocks. Take a 20-minute break, I'ma hit him with a gout walk.
In medical school, we learned that gout is the king's disease.
Look, I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed. I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed.
I've been so broke, PayPal so low. I need more goals, more tips, more pulls. People been dropping bombs every day on a regular. Two people been dropping bombs every day on a regular. They call me the GOAT, call me a coat, they call me a local screamer. I'm gonna show all these trolls my club and I don't need them. My wife, oh no, goddamn baby, I might be forced to leave ya. Head down to the stove, keep down low and find me a pandalia. And oh, I see with a member bar. Got my woman's sweater, better go put it on. And shout outs to the fans that always keep me on. Watching Jenna's OnlyFans with the camera on.
I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed. I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed.
So give it up, all your tips, I need them all. I'm pulling up, don't take my tire, no. They shooting up at Burger King when I'm getting my lunch. I'm in a rush to be the biggest locale, I'm in the bunch. And I'm the laughing stock of everyone. I only get depression when my money's gone. Valedictorian, but I'm kinda dumb. I put my wife on camera because I'm a bomb.
I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed. I let my Hogan's big pools, broke boy, T-pose, big bombs, tip goals, big wife, pig roach, I'm the king of the snorts. Hello, call me on camera, yeah you know. Ask around, they all know me. Giving my money to school bleed.
Hello. Thank you all for coming back again this Saturday after me not being here last week. I apologize. I woke up and I was exhausted. I didn't have it in me to listen to the guy on his stupid Halloween event that sucked dicks anyway. It just wasn't worth it, you know? So I appreciate you guys showing up this week. That's very cool of you. Very cool. But we really just got to get down into it, right? He's finally doing it, you guys. And I didn't ask for this. I don't know who did ask for this. I don't know who wanted this. But he's doing it anyway. I don't foresee it going well, but he's doing DSP politics. He's hyping it up. He's going to get into it after the election, of course, because making money is foreign to DSP. Actually, good business sense is not something that he has. So, of course, he's doing it late. And we're gonna get into it. Good morning to all of you, of course. Thank you once again. But we're just gonna get into it because we're gonna be here for the whole pre-stream, however long it goes. I have no idea how much I'll stop. I haven't seen it since Wednesday when it originally aired. And before anybody asks, no, I didn't see anything from yesterday. I was too busy playing D&D like a big nerd in real life, so I saw no pre-stream yesterday. I apologize. I know that he called out some Detractor styles. I know he got the PS5 Pro, and I know that he played Veilguard. But aside from that, I couldn't tell you what happened.
Good morning, everyone. Something feels a little different today. I don't know. I wonder what it could possibly be. I wonder what maybe could have happened that things would seem a little different. I don't know. Nothing important, I'm sure. There's no way that something actually like monumental could have possibly happened in the last 24 hours that we would want to talk about here today. Right? Yeah. I hope that you guys...
People are asking about D&D. Now, I play a Tiefling Warlock, and we're playing 5e because it's like none of us fucking play D&D. So it's like baby's first game, actually. But as soon as this pre-stream started and I was listening to it live, I instantly knew that this was gonna be an issue, right? I knew that he was automatically going to make himself come across as the worst political commentator possible. Because the day after the election, when literally nothing has happened yet, he's already come on and said, you know, everything already feels different, you know, something monumental has happened. Like, it's the day literally after the election. What could have changed? Nothing changes. And I've seen it all over the internet too. People crying nonstop. It's the day after the election and nothing has happened yet. What are you worried about? Anyway. You
guys are ready for a different kind of show. All right. Admittedly, today
he just couldn't wait to talk about it.
He just couldn't wait. I have an update on the PS5 Pro. Okay. And a couple other things. But let's be very honest here. Today we have one major topic: the results of the elections last night, and most notably the U.S. presidential election. The results of which are going to change a lot of stuff.
He acts like he won the election.
I'm going to talk about a topic that we've talked about on and off for years.
He's going to ban the trolls, stupid. Welcome to Guantanamo Bay.
Stick around, because today, the major topic of discussion right here is hashtag DS Politics. I will see you in a sec for a very interesting episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
I guess if he really did send people to Guantanamo Bay, it would give the name Bay of Pigs a whole different meaning, right? Does anybody still call it the Bay of Pigs? And I haven't heard it in a while. To be fair, who's talking about Guantanamo Bay like that? And I tried to jump 10 seconds ahead, and of course I'm getting fucked for it. Very cool. Very robust and meaningful to me. Isn't Bay of Pigs Cuba? Is it? Yeah, maybe I'm... hey, I'm just dented. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't even around when Cuba existed. Come on. I know that Cuba still exists. I'm memeing. I'm memeing. I can't believe I'm getting fucked like this again. This is crazy. This is actual nonsense. Yeah, this is actual nonsense. It ain't an Atlas stream unless it's fucked beyond repair, isn't it? I'm about to rope. About to rope. And I didn't even download the fucking video because I'm actually the stupidest person on the fucking planet.
Normal topics. In fact, I have an update on the PS5 Pro.
Fuck it. I'm not skipping shit. It's raw today. It's literally raw.
But let's be very honest here. Today we have one major
All of you
topic,
have to suffer because the world hates me. Sound good?
Last night, and most notably the U.S. presidential election, the results of which are going to change a lot of stuff.
We'll just sit in silence for the intro.
And
it's
today,
fine.
I'm going to talk about a topic that we've talked about on and off for years. I think it's finally time. Stick around, because today, the major topic of discussion right here is hashtag DS Politics. I will see you in a sec for a very interesting episode of the Level 1 podcast.
Do 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 do. Sorry. I do it every time. Like even when I'm sitting by myself at work listening to this, I'll do the theme song despite it being muted. It's just so stupid. It's actually infectious in my skull. Nothing I could do. Funny story, actually. Our first game of D&D, my coworker showed up incredibly blazed out of his mind and couldn't function for the entire session. It was very cool. Our other coworkers absolutely loved that, and it made the game that much more special and meaningful to us.
Alrighty, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024. For some, today is literally the worst case scenario, absolute, over the top, destroyed, cooked, we're all over, apocalyptic day, the worst day ever.
Who taught him cooked? What Zoomer did he read? What Twitter post did he see where they said that somebody was cooked and now he's implemented it into the vocabulary? I'm not here for it. I'm gonna nip it in the bud right now. I'm gonna say it live. I don't like it. It's like felted. I can see it being too much. I don't want to hear this old man use it. I just don't.
But for others, today is a day of grand celebration. There's dancing in the streets, rejoicing. Champagne bottles are being popped. People are backflipping in delight, right? It's amazing how people have completely polarized, particularly here in the United States, because last night, Donald Trump retook the United States presidency.
Thank you, DSP. And
this has been the most unlikely.
I have to question why he feels the need to really explain this. Like, I don't want to make it sound like everybody, like the whole world is watching the United States, but when it comes to the presidential election, motherfucker, everybody knows who won. I couldn't imagine that there's people on the planet that haven't heard by the time he went live the following day at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Not even Eastern time, the time zone that's ahead, but 11 a.m. Pacific time. Everybody fucking knows, dude. Who do you really think you're breaking the news to?
A whirlwind 8 years? Like, first of all, to be honest, I never thought Donald Trump would have got elected to begin with 8 years ago. But then again, they did put him against Hillary Clinton. And I think Iraq would have beaten Hillary Clinton. So, I mean, it wasn't that hard of a task. And then, you know, 4 years ago, with what was going on with COVID at the time,
and I really do think like that comment kind of encapsulates DSP's opinions and how he's going to be going moving forward with political commentary, if you're even willing to call it that, as uneducated as he is on it. The safest, easiest, oldest take possible. Yes, it's very clear that nobody liked Hillary Clinton. She was absolutely dunked on in 2016, and DSP is in the year 2024 saying it as if this is some sort of revelation, as if this is some sort of hot take, when it's lukewarm at best, and honestly, it's kind of piss cold. You don't piss cold. I fucked that up. But it's cold as shit. This take sucks. It's tired. It's old. It's not original, just like everything else that he does.
And everything was in a weird place. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of a weird thing that happened, that Trump lost to Biden. But now here we are. And Trump is back. And man, the reaction is insane. And by the way, it's not only that Trump is back, it's that the entire U.S. government just got overtaken by the Republican Party. The Senate, the House of Representatives, and the presidency, and honestly, the Supreme Court are all now going to be controlled by a majority of Republican lawmakers and politicians.
How's that make you feel, DSP?
Last time Trump was in office, it was the opposite, where he was the president, but all the other branches were kind of against him. So it was very hard to make stuff work. So holy crap. Right? Holy crap. It's just nuts.
Why is it nuts, though?
We're going to talk about this today a bit, but notably, rather than talk about the political aspect of it and giving you my opinions on it, instead I'm going to approach this from a different angle, all right? Because as you know, I'm not a political content creator yet. And this is something that we have discussed for many, many years, that the possibility, when I'm tongue-tied, the possibility that as I get older, these are going to be topics that people are going to want to hear me discuss, because it's not just about fun and games anymore. It's about life. It's about politics and family and all kinds of stuff going on. It's very different than it used to be, right?
What is he talking about? Now that he's getting older, these are things that people are going to want to hear from him, because things have changed, and it's not just about gaming. It's now about family and other things. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? What does that mean? Why does your age determine what people want to hear your opinions on? You don't know shit about politics. Why would anybody ask you about it? In a similar way that you wouldn't just go up and ask somebody who's older about the gym if they don't, present that they know anything about healthy living or going to the gym. Just because they're older doesn't mean that they have a valid opinion on anything. That just seems so fucking stupid. His logic doesn't make sense. I don't understand. And again, I have not seen anybody asking for political content. I mean, his dents in chat are going to hype him up the way they do about everything. They tell him everything's a good fucking idea, and none of them are. But I don't know anybody who genuinely wants to see DSP do politics unless they're trolling.
So, especially now, in the last few months, how dramatically my life has changed. If you guys really don't understand, I went from being the absolute whipping boy of the internet. Every word out of my mouth was ignored or treated like a joke. I was derided, I was slandered, I was defamed, I was treated like human dirt. And it was like that for the greater part of 10 years. But
it was like
things
that.
Have changed.
It's different
Things
now.
have flipped. In the
I'm not
last
the same
3
guy.
months, August, September, and October. There's people who actually care, people who listen, people who previously would have just stood there and said, ha, who cares? And now they're like, wait, what did Phil say? Oh, interesting. So with that being said, and of course also with
everybody, look, I'm not gonna lie, people have thought DSP has been interesting for a very long time. Interesting is not a very positive descriptor, though. That's not an adjective that you want to be, used on you. When you take a bite of food and you describe it as interesting, that is, you don't like that food. No one's ever described food as interesting and then thought, yeah, I loved it, though. Typically, it's used as a way to, soften the blow of being negative. But the way that he talks about, like, now people care what I have to say is so disrespectful and shitty to the people who have supported him for actually years. He's always had somewhat of an audience as actually stupid as they are. And for him to now, since the Keno Arc, say that now people care about him, now people are listening, now people are defending him is fucking, it's shitty. It really is shitty to the people who have held him down for how long?
Me now streaming on Kick. Because right now I have a co-audience. We got people watching me on YouTube right now, but we also have an audience on Kick, and the audiences are a little different. You know, on Kick, a lot more people are tuned in for things like politics. While on YouTube, you got to kind of be a little careful about what you say. You know, you can't go too crazy. So, man, I mean, what a world. Who would have predicted? Look,
Yo, big ups like Diga for the raid. I see you, brother.
Right now. Are you ready for this, everyone? Who would have predicted that in the second half of 2024, I would essentially contact people who had been making fun of me.
And thank you for joining the 60 Skulls.
Show, win them over, end up becoming more of a, how can I say? Like, people are saying it's a redemption arc, but I really feel it's more like the wool that's been pulled over everyone's eyes for the last 5 to 10 years.
There's too many people in chat. It's buffering now, guys. Come on. I'm sending out too much data now.
And now that people are giving me a
huge Atlas L, holy shit. Everything sucks all the time.
chance, they're realizing, holy crap. Phil's not.
Yo, I'm gonna sue Comcast. I don't have Comcast. I'm memeing, but
not the worst person on the planet. In fact, he's kind of entertaining. Sometimes he has.
Okay, give me 1 second. I do have this downloaded. There can't be any issues if I do it locally, right? If Atlas didn't live in a third world country, his internet would be better. The problem with that is All right, I got it. Now I got it. Don't yell at me. If you're thinking about yelling, fucking stop. Oh, and then I changed everything last night. Fuck. It's just gonna look like that for a second. Just let me fix it after.
Pulled over everyone's eyes for the last 5 to 10 years has been removed.
There you go.
And now that people are giving me a chance, they're realizing, holy crap, Phil's not the worst person on the planet. In fact, he's kind of entertaining. Sometimes he has interesting takes. We want to hear him. We want to see his content.
Again,
we're interested. We're engaged.
It's interesting takes. It's not good takes. It's not takes that we want to hear. It's interesting takes. Interesting is not the way that you want to be described. It's just not. I think it's going to be very difficult to argue that interesting is what you want to be, you know?
He's not really the joke that everyone made him out to be. This is a good thing that now we're giving him a chance, right? And then on top of that, right? Then doing crossover events, doing collabs, both, you know, gameplay and talk show style appearances and things like that.
Talk show style.
Me branching out, making different styles of content, improving my setup with, holy crap, how many years does my setup look like dog shit? But now I'm actually putting good effort into it and getting stuff back for it, all right? It's not.
But why did it take years for you to be putting out dog shit to finally put effort into it? That's the part I don't understand, because you don't need $1 million in order to put some sort of effort into your stream. You can just do that. You should be doing that. It doesn't matter if it's even your full-time job. You should be putting some sort of effort into streaming and entertaining, or you shouldn't be fucking doing it. It really is that simple. If you're gonna put no respect on your audience's name, just stop. Just don't do it.
It's not just, oh, Phil's trying. It's Phil's trying, but the audience is absolutely reciprocating, right? You guys have absolutely rewarded me with engagement and attention and support, and I really appreciate that. So if ever you would have wow, this would happen, and now an election happens, where everything has completely changed and flipped. And I've been saying this for years. In life, in humanity and culture, there is a pendulum. And that pendulum swings back and forth to the two different extremes, just like this.
The simplest understanding of politics.
All the way over here, and then we were kind of in the middle, and then it came all the way back. And last night, that pendulum firmly, strongly, 100% swung back and hit hard. And now that pendulum is swung,
you have a fantastic question. How has it changed for him, though? And that's exactly what he should be explaining. I don't know why he's giving the very basic understanding of how a culture can switch, move back and forth from these beliefs to that beliefs, without ever actually giving his own fucking opinion on it. And he's not even describing the situation accurately, because the pendulum does not fully, it's not swinging on the election. The culture has already changed. That's like the apex of it, right? When everything is finally done. It's been swinging for ages. We've had 4 years of a different style of president. Over those 4 years, the country switched over. It wasn't all of a sudden just overnight during the election. But if you believe the way that he speaks, that's how it works, because he doesn't understand anything. He's got like a 12-year-old's understanding of politics, but he's going to be the great political commentator, of course. Of course.
I feel like maybe it's time to continue with the changes, the improvements, with me branching out and doing different stuff. I think it may actually be time for us to take a look at hashtag DS Politics. And the truth is, I don't know if there could have been a better time, because not only do we have
before
this big
the
election
election
that just happened, and there's going to be endless amounts of topics to talk about, but in addition to that, Jasper Kitty. Just kidding. But I wanted to give him some attention because he's crawling all over me. But in addition to that, if you're not aware, I'm retiring my 2-year running Clips React show. I feel like the show has run its course.
And that's why I genuinely think that's why we're doing this. He was so desperate for content and literally could not figure out how to make long form content work on DSP Reacts that his final Hail Mary toss, now that the election is over, is to do politics, because he thinks that it's safer now to do it than before the election. And DSP doesn't actually want to put himself out there to get shit all over. Hence why he didn't do it before. But that's where the money would have been. His idea that this is the better time, this is a more apt time, simply because DSP Reacts is on the downward slope, or whatever the fuck he wants to call it, because he was not able to keep up that shit-ass show he was doing. It's an asinine thought. Obviously, the money was before the election. Granted, there's going to be money after, but I don't think it's the type of content that he wants to make. It's just not.
And all that time and effort that I put into doing that show was kind of wasted at this point, when I'm barely getting anyone on the streams and we have like only 20 people submitting clips. It's time to move on. Well, guess what? Seems like there's something interesting to refocus my efforts into.
All right.
Well then, right? I mean, very interesting. So anyway, guys, today we are going to talk about this as a topic, but it's not the only topic we're talking about. I have a couple other topics I'd like to discuss. I have an update on my merchandise shop, which I'm going to talk about today. It's
We need a merch update.
Shop.
I've been dying.
I've got an update.
My mug still
on the
hasn't
PS5
come in.
Pro. I've got an update on. Well, I have one clip that I want to watch eventually here. Someone sent me this clip, and I watched it, and I was like, "This is a hilarious clip. It really is," and I really want to take a look at it with you guys together today. I think it would be a hilarious watch. So anyway.
Boy, I sure hope we watch that clip today.
We'll do a few things today. It's not just going to be about politics. You don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be a...
Spoiler, it pretty much was. It was about 3/4 of the show. I just want to make sure I would have set everybody's expectations accurately, because DSP is not. It's about 3/4 of it.
One-trick pony kind of show, I promise you. All right. Cool. All right. So anyway, guess what? Let's start at the beginning. Folks, 53 straight streams, hitting the goals, crushing the trolls. You have no clue the meltdown My
Uh-huh.
trolls are in right now. You have no
I'm seething.
fucking concept.
I'm coping.
They
I'm
have
molding.
lost their minds. All right. They are so starving for content because
Yep.
I'm not giving them any.
Yep, DSP is not giving anybody content. Completely ignore every day when DSP goes live, I guess. Just don't look at it. And then he's right.
They actually went into the Washington State voter database
Uh-huh.
to see if I'm a registered voter in the state of Washington.
And were you?
Now, what they don't know is that I actually live in the state of Idaho, and I've been lying to all of you for a decade and fooled them. I'm just kidding. It's not.
See, it's not even a believable joke, because him living in Idaho actually would have been a bigger brained play financially. And everybody knows that he's not that smart. He was never willing to live in a location that actually had a low cost of living. He wanted to move to the most expensive area possible so that he could feel like a big, cool adult living near Seattle. So again, it's not even a believable joke, and it's not funny. Imagine.
True. Okay. The funny part about this is, who cares where I'm registered, if I'm registered, if I vote, if I don't vote? That's my choice. It's totally up to me. As an American citizen, I have the right to determine what I do. No one has the right to dictate to me that I vote, that I don't vote, that I do this, that I do that. That's the beauty of being an American citizen, is that it's called independence. But detractors don't know that. They actually think that because, I might say something political or talk about politics, that I need to be a registered voter and be voting in every single election on every single topic, and it's absolutely positively required of me. They are insane.
But it's a very and this is the shit that pisses me off the most about DSP. He'll put himself in these situations. He will always go out of his way to come off as horrible as possible and then be upset when people don't like the way that he behaves. It is a very common sentiment that if you do not partake in elections, if you do not partake in the political system at all, that you really don't have any business telling other people how to feel politically or how they should be voting or how you feel about anything going on in politics, because you don't partake in the system. You don't utilize the freedoms and abilities that you've been given to actually make a difference. Therefore, your opinion is less valid than people who do. I'm not saying that I agree with that. I'm not saying that I disagree with that. What I'm saying is it's a very common sentiment that a lot of people share. And to expect people to not feel that way specifically about you is fucking delusional. It's absolutely delusional, and to be upset about it is even fucking stupider. And the reason that DSP is a lol cow, it really is that simple. Apologies if it seems a little short, but that's exactly what it is. It's not complicated. He's just fucking stupid and has no business.
All right. Now, I actually talked about this last night in my appearance on Keno Casino very briefly. But in a nutshell, I live in Washington State. In Washington State, okay? This state is very, very, almost 100% Democratic or blue-leaning, meaning it always leans to the left on political topics.
Okay.
So what that means is whenever there's an election, whenever there's a topic, the voting always goes that way. In fact, I think that for the presidential election, I think it's like 58% or 60% went for Kamala here, and like 30-something% went for Trump.
Okay.
So,
thanks. Saying the same thing 3 times does not mean that you're providing any more information or telling your point any better. It just makes you obnoxious. Just a heads up for anybody that's ever tried to explain anything. If you're doing it 3 times and saying the exact same thing, stop talking. Just stop. You've irritated everybody that you were even associating with. Thank you, Ira, for the 5. I really appreciate that. I feel abstaining is a valid choice, but that's not what he does. He just fence sits and is too lazy to vote. Even Kat mailed in a ballot last month, and that's what I was hearing. Big ups Kat for voting. I don't know that it tells you she did actually vote, but it tells you when she received it or when it was sent out. And I think asking for it is more than DSP did. So I guess she's got to get a big ups for that. But somebody said it in the chat. I'm not going to scroll up and find it. I apologize. They call it a civic duty, and going to vote, or at least going out of your way to get a mail-in ballot or something, it's enough like to show that you actually give a shit, to stand on your convictions. And that's why people care. If you can't even take the minimum amount of time that it takes to vote out of your day to make a difference as far as you can, then you clearly don't care enough. And that's just the way that it is. And honestly, I would prefer if we all had to go in person, just because I like to gatekeep. I think if you can't pull up, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Honestly, it's just like that. I love gatekeeping. I want less people doing more things.
That gives you a perspective. So if I'm going to
act
vote,
like you give a shit is all I want.
I'm going to vote on a topic or a situation where I feel like it's important. Like, wow, my vote matters. My vote counts. It could actually have an impact. Sadly, my vote doesn't really have an impact. Even if I were voting left or right, this state always votes blue. So for me to vote is like, you know, I might as well be peeing into the wind. You know, but that's the thing. Like, it doesn't really matter. If I lived in a swing state, holy crap, would I vote? No,
and
lie.
This is just such a short-sighted fucking take from DSP, and just goes to show you exactly why you shouldn't listen to this guy. He's got a defeatist attitude. He's already resigned himself to not making a difference. Therefore, he's not voting. It's exactly this type of mentality that keeps specific states voting one specific way, because other people who think like differently than the people around them just give up. And this goes both ways. Go fucking vote. Go tell them how you feel. If that's literally all you can do to make a difference, go do it. Don't just resign and be like, oh, it's going to be that way, so whatever. That's embarrassing. It's a bad mentality to have. And it really does encapsulate a lot about DSP.
I feel like my vote has some kind of power, and that I actually have some kind of say in things that are important. But sadly, the way that the United States government works is not set up that way. It's just not. So if I'm not in a swing state where you don't know who they're going to vote for the president or whatever, why would I vote, right?
Because it's your civic duty.
Ineffective.
Because it's the least that you could do. No fucking way. No fucking way, dude. I'm gonna cry. So you'll never believe this. You'll never believe me. But it actually turns out the copy of this video that I have is corrupted. So it's actually not gonna play. I love it here. I love it. All right, hold on. We're rolling it back. Here we go.
To spend positivity to all. I think he meant to say spread. I think it was.
Okay, we're spreading positivity. I think I jumped like 7 seconds ahead, but I'm not going to re-roll because I'm just going to fuck it up again.
Positive day, and you want to spread that to others. That's a very good thing. The red.
Yo, speaking of very good things, Conqueror of Iberia with the 7 months. Thank you so much. Big ups to Kat for doing her civic duty, unlike the Pigler. Absolutely, dude. The least you could do is go vote. If you want to talk about politics, please. After that, I really don't care how you feel about it. Tell me all about it, I suppose. Just as long as you care enough to go. Big ups, again, Conqueror of Iberia. And Wesley H with the 5. If he believes that voting or his vote doesn't matter, then his political voice doesn't matter. And if it doesn't, then why listen to his stupid takes? Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. In fact, I didn't. I took way longer to do it. So big ups. Thank you for the summarization. And the 5. Hell yeah.
The King has done a $5 super chat. So first of all, that's the biggest super chat of the day. Let's get them on the leaderboard, and then we'll read what they have to say, because they do have a comment here that I think I'll probably respond to.
And as a safety, I am currently downloading another copy of this in case it messes up again. I'm trying.
Know that you're not the worst person on the planet, including your detractors. Your lack of filtered speech makes you an easy target sometimes. Well, here's the thing. I've never been a pussy, right? I've never pussyfoot around topics. I never censor myself, okay? And
but he has, and he does all of the time. This is outright a fucking blatant lie. How many times has he told you that he no longer makes jokes anymore because they're not acceptable on YouTube and he doesn't want to risk his business? How many times has he told you that he's completely changed his style of comedy because people are more offended than ever and he's just not allowed to say the things that he wants to say? How many times? It's every day, actually. Not that he says this, but that he does it. So I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not a pussy. I've never pussyfoot around anything. And he's a constant fence sitter. If DSP's anything, it's that he's a coward and a fence sitter and will not actually take a hard stance on anything. Hence why he's, spoiler, he's not going to take a fucking stance in this video at all. He's going to tell you that he's going to do a political commentary channel and not give you one fucking opinion. That's wild. So, again, to sit here and fucking blatantly lie to your audience is just disrespectful.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. Here's something I haven't talked about yet. So earlier this year, as you guys know, I was in talks with a guy named Mike Klum to do a documentary about me. Now, this was before my resurgence, before the last few amazing, crazy months of all public opinion flipping. It was different, okay? Now, when I was talking with Mike Klum, I'm talking to him and I'm like, Mike, I want your honest take on this, your honest opinion. Why?
As opposed to your lying
think
opinion, of course.
So many people have this fascination with me. Why do you think that people still talk about DSP? I don't get it. Like, I think I'm just some rinky-dink nobody who just wants to play games or whatever.
You kind of are.
He said to me,
what in the goddamn...
He said, Phil, you're a train wreck and a clown that people love to point and laugh at. You are one of the easiest targets that will give the biggest reactions consistently, and it really is that simple. You need to change your behavior or the things that happen to you will never change. Is that what he said? Is that what he said?
It's that unfiltered style that you have. Like, it's hard to explain. But hear me go on like a big rant or to really get into a topic and to get animated about it and to hear emotion come out, he basically says it's like enthralling, like it hooks you and you want to hear me keep talking about said topic or whatever. And yeah, basically that's it. Like, now the thing is,
but so he lied to you. Mike Klum is a liar, confirmed then, because that's not why people tune into DSP. They don't tune into him because he's raw, unedited style and his takes are fantastic. No one gives a shit about that. What are you talking about? I never took Mike Klum for a liar, but I guess he was the whole time. Thank you. Seemingly odd for the 5. I would respect Phil more if he handed a blank ballot. At least he went down and said his piece. Exactly. Take the 20 minutes that it would take to go down to your local polling place and send in a blank ticket with your name on it for all I give a fuck. Just go. Pretend like you care enough. Because without that sort of action, I can't even take you seriously talking about politics. Thank you so much for the 5. Seemingly odd. And then Redbird with the 2. Pennsylvania went red. Any state could go blue. Any state could go any fuck color if they wanted it to. I mean, it's not completely unfathomable that states will go a different color. It happens frequently. I mean, John Bono said it in chat. Indiana voted for Barack Obama in 08, and I've never seen that state go blue before. I wasn't alive in 08, so, you know, that explains it. But if that's true, like, they change. It is what it is. Just go out and vote. Be the difference you want to see. And then Wrestling Ranter with the 5. Thank you so much. He says he's never been a puss, but, oh, hi, Jaha. Please don't punch me. I'm an alcoholic. Exactly. Exactly. Just another example of the lie. Thank you for the 5, Wrestling Ranter.
So many people on the internet know me as a joke that it's fascinating to see me actually talk seriously or get excited about a topic, but then everyone just kind of blows it off and makes it into a joke. But now it's a little different. Like I said, like, people actually are listening to my opinions and caring about them, and that's a good thing. Right? It's not, oh, Phil's just a piece of shit anymore. So thank you for that. But I have never been someone to censor myself. I've never been someone to filter myself. Why do you think, as I've told you guys, I've never played the game. I never took on a major sponsorship, a partnership. I never got games early.
He did.
By kissing ass.
He did.
Or sucking balls, or whatever you want to say, stroking, fluffing, which is what a lot of content creators do. They're literal career fluffers. I've never done that. In fact, I call people out for doing it because I think it's disgraceful.
Again, you just have to ignore all of the times that he did exactly what he's claiming that he didn't, and then what he says is true. All of the Loot Crate sponsorships, all of the, the beanbag sponsorships, the snacks or whatever the fuck, those games that he played and people complained about, the seat sponsorship. He got Fallout 4 for free from Machinima. He received that Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for free. Like, all of this shit, it goes completely opposite of what he just said. but just believe him, of course. Stop using your own brain. Stop recalling things that he's done in the past. His own content that's still up, by the way. Ignore that, please, so that he can lie to your face.
That they would literally put out fake paid-for content in order to receive their paychecks.
Oh, DSP's a bit too quiet again. My bad, my bad.
So that's what I mean. Like, I've talked about this for over 10 years. That's why I never had protection from anyone. I never had a big collab. I never had a team up. I never had, oh, he's part of a super group. Even when I was with Machinima, they didn't care about me because they knew that I was Mr. Outspoken. I didn't play the game. Why do you think?
No, they knew that you were impossible to work with and they couldn't get you to do anything. Therefore, all they were going to do was continue to make money off of you and allow you to fight your own battles and do jack shit. Like, that's actually what it was. He's said several times that Machinima, when they talked, they tried to set him up with things to try and get him to collab with other people, to try and move into different spaces and expand and do variety content, and he didn't want to do any of that. After those phone calls,
Hey, good morning,
why would they continue to try? Why would they continue to go to bat for you? They already make a portion of your money that they really had no business making because you signed into a shitty deal, like a lot of people did back in the day. Why would they want to fucking deal with you and spend the time and effort if they could just make money off your back and continue to move on positively?
Good morning, Kanye.
That has nothing to do with you being outspoken and everything to do with you just being a piece of shit no one likes. He like contorts the entire world and the reality to try and fit his fucking narcissistic narrative that everybody loves him all of the time and that he's some outspoken pariah that you know people need to hear from. Fuck yourself. You're not that important and your takes are shit. Danny DK with the 2. Isn't he a Keno Casino fluffer? But we're bad people. Oh, we're going to get into that. Oh, we're going to get into the Keno Casino fluffing. Thank you for the 2. But that's an entire section that I can't wait for. Smitty Werman Man Jensen with the 2. Imagine having a deal with DSP in your jury, having to deal with DSP in your jury group. I just to say I'm a racist. I have to go. I'm not putting up with this man. I'm gonna go get hit by a car or something. I'm gonna do insurance fraud. Like, I don't know. I gotta go, man. You can't make me do it. And keep mashing with the 5. Your video fumbles are more respectable than anything Dave has to say. At least you're failing while trying. And that's all I can do, boss, is I can try. I hope that trying is good enough. Because this is shit show at the Atlas Productions team. Thank you for the 5. Big ups.
You had guys like the Rad Brad, who fucking blew
Yo,
up
shout
on
out to
YouTube
Rad
and
Brad.
got every opportunity, and I got none because I didn't play the game. Guys like him, they fucking did every possible thing, and I didn't. I refused. But because I stayed true to...
By every possible thing, does he mean that the Rad Brad played every single video game very quickly, was entirely respectful during all of his playthroughs, and showed you exactly what the game would look like from somebody playing the video game's perspective? Is that what we're going to shit on the Rad Brad for? Because he didn't give you a completely biased perspective where he shit all over these games, even though he didn't particularly dislike them all that much, like DSP did? Oh, okay. Sorry, Brad, get felted by the guy. You're totally irrelevant.
Who I was.
Gonna go check the Rad Brad stats real quick.
Basically became phased out and became kind of an internet nobody and the whipping boy of the internet, while guys like him got pushed.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Or Fort Worth raised. All the Rad Brad did was be a likable person, and DSP hates him for it.
Everything. So
hates him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very different. I'm cut from a different cloth. That's for
the antithesis
sure.
of DSP is the Rad Brad.
In my life, many different times, things that have happened. I've told you about things that happened at various jobs and stuff that I had, and you know, that's just me. That's just my attitude. That's just who I am. My personality. You know, and I think that's.
Your personality is all of the shitty things that you had happen throughout your life? I don't think that's what you meant to say. And if that's the case, you've got deeper issues than that. So for anybody who was wondering, the Rad Brad, 13.7 mil subscribers, only 8.6K videos. So, sorry, I apologize about that. About 52,000 less videos than DSP. And his videos still frequently get over 100,000 views. I'm not seeing a single one as I scroll down here. This is about 20-some videos down. I don't see a single video with less than 100,000 views on it. So, very irrelevant, very not important. Nobody watches the Rad Brad. DSP's the king, obviously.
It's going to come through if I do political content. You know what I'm saying? So
it wasn't even a snort.
Anyway,
I just inhaled too close to the microphone.
I'm happy to hear that people now care about what I have to say, despite the fact that it's unfiltered and not PG or PC or, you know, what the butt kissers, the ball suckers, and the fluffers would do. Okay.
All right.
Alien Boy
Sounds
did
good.
confirm through a $2 super chat. They said it was spread. I meant to say spread positivity. I'm sorry. No problem there. I think we figured it out, Alien Boy. Mr. Lawlinator did a $5 super chat and says, are you actually interested in politics in your free time? Don't address trolls. They are almost all mentally handicapped. RTU has a diabetes arc incoming. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Do you understand that?
But you read it, right? Like, that's the issue here. DSP takes so much issue with detractors coming to his content and saying that his viewers are mentally disabled, that they're handicapped, that this, that, or the other, that he's got this medical condition. But when this shit comes up and somebody sends it to him in the form of a tip or the form of a super chat, he'll read it out just to go, oh, I don't think that, you guys, but I have to read it out because it's a message. Yet all of the troll messages that get sent don't get read out. So he's just making shit up. He wanted to read it out. He wanted to say these negative things about these people just so that he could, you know, pretend that he didn't say it and he doesn't think that. It's fucking play pretend. Everybody's an adult here. Stop it. Get some help.
Like, the people who...
And Penitent Sin with the 8 months asking, do we need to start a fund for a snort noise gate? Yes. But no, I just need to lean back when I inhale. I'm just a little congested, okay? I have a deviated septum. It's hard to breathe. I have a medical condition, stupid.
For the most part, the people who have been the worst to me are now having it all come back on them. I don't know if it's karma. I don't know if it's they call the chickens are coming home to roost, whatever you want to say. But these people who have been the absolute worst to me, finally all this shit is flipping on its head. And they are getting destroyed left, right, up, down, in every fucking direction. And the best part about it is I don't even have to lift a finger. Right? But so the other thing is...
The only person he's talking about it in this instance, then, though, is Review Tech, though, right? What other person talking shit about DSP is being felted upright and center or whatever the fuck he's trying to say? It's literally just RTU crashing out online, and he's actually a lolcow. Like dancing on the grave of a lolcow from one lolcow to another is actually kind of insane to me. But whatever. And to think that RTU was DSP's biggest hater, that he was one of the ones that were most destructive to his image or whatever, is fucking wild. There are far more talented and interesting people who have far worse things to say about DSP than RTU ever could. He's definitely got his crosshair on the wrong person, but don't tell him that. Wesley H with another 5. Thank you so much. So this same guy this week complained about people not wanting to be interviewed and is now calling anyone a shill and fluffers. I wonder why. Dude, I'm not gonna, I can't follow the logic myself. I really can't. He's on another plane. I couldn't even fathom the IQ on this guy. Thank you for the 5.
I don't need to beat the dead horse. I just don't. Like, why do I need to sit here and talk about these loons all day? I don't. So, you know,
but you do. He doesn't have to do it, but he does, you guys. Make that make sense.
Oh, let's check in on this fucking clown, right? And then we'll open it up and we'll take a look and we'll say, ha, 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 point and laugh at the clown. And say, all right, the clown show's old. Get them back into their tiny car, deflate their fucking animal balloons, and get them out of here. Maybe next month we'll check them out again, right? We don't have to do this shit every day. It's a waste of time.
All right. Sounds good, dude.
All right. Let's continue. I received a $2 tip.
Uh-huh. From who? What'd they say?
The voting system should change. As I vote independent, usually they never win. Wonderful. It will ever happen. Thoughts. So, I mean, that is a very interesting topic, and it's one of the things we can discuss if I do politics, is the American voting system.
It's one of the things that we can discuss. He can't even tell you that he dislikes a two-party fucking voting system. Are we for real? So I might have not let him cook long enough. Hang on.
I say American. I should say United States, because American, insinuates more than just, the United States. But,
I don't know about that.
It is kind of a broken system.
People know what you mean.
You don't want to vote for a
It's
Democrat
like saying
Republican.
American football or American Thanksgiving. I think people know what you're talking about, and to assume they don't implies that they're dumber. And I wouldn't do that.
Like, for example, right now, this voting system that we had for this presidential election of Trump versus Harris. If you don't think either candidate is good, literally you have no voice in this country. You either vote for one or the other, or you're just ignored. It was funny because I was on the show, the Keno Casino show last night, and
How'd
they
that
were
go for
clicking
you?
around various states to see what the results. And I clicked on one, and it said Jill Stein was in the running for president. And I looked and I said, wait, what? Jill Stein of the Green Party is still running for president? She's been running for president for like a decade or longer, like 3 or 4 election cycles. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's like 0.005% voted for Jill Stein. And I'm like, wow. But that's what I mean. Like, what if you don't like Trump or Harris? What do?
You would go vote
guess you
third
fuck
party.
off.
No, and that's exactly why third parties don't get fucking votes. If this is your mentality when you don't like, shut up. When you don't like either candidate is to just not vote, you are actually part of the problem. You are the issue. Congratulations. You are the detriment to the society that you want to change. And if you don't see that, you're lost. Sorry. Be the change you want to fucking see. And definitely don't do a political commentary take after that. Fucking idiot. Also, by the way, anybody that didn't see the Keno Casino show with DSP on it, it's very close to being entirely unwatchable. There's a lot of people. They are constantly talking over each other. Some of them are having separate conversations at the same time. That's a crazy thing to do on a stream, if you ask me. At one point, Andy's asking DSP to play more zombies while 2 other people, I think it was Josh Moon and somebody else, were talking about one of the states and which direction they were going. What the fuck was that? That's just a shit experience as far as the stream goes. I wouldn't recommend it. That's all I wanted to say on it.
That's how our system's set up. Like, you have no chance to be heard unless you're voting for one of the 2 major parties. And it's sad, I think, because we should have a system where someone who is not Democrat or Republican should actually have a chance. And they don't. That's how our system's set up. But that's a topic for, again, we're not talking detailed politics today. It's something that we can definitely tackle in the future. Okay?
Yeah, we could definitely tackle that in the future.
This will be something for a political discussion elsewhere, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Okay?
DSP is the best tackle on the field, so
tip.
he's definitely got to get this subject under wraps. Don't worry about it.
And, it's a troll, so I'm just going to ignore it. There you go.
All right, there we go. Stupid troll. I'm not reading that. Unless you're going to troll my ops, in which case I'm finna slide on them.
I ignore all troll tips. So, where to begin? Before we get to the politics discussion, because I know that's what everyone's interested in this morning. I hear you. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you. I have absolutely no idea how many people I have watching right now. Seems like a decent crowd. I don't really look unless there's a reason to these days. With the co-streaming and everything, it's not really that big of a deal to me. But I hope that many of you are
decent crowd. We're back down to 313, you guys. You remember just about a month ago, maybe it's a little over a month ago, he was sitting high at 500, 600 people to stream again. During the resurgence. Wonder where all 200, 300 of those people went. Real mystery why those people aren't around anymore. Sitting real high at 313.
For good reason. And thank you for your early support. We're about a third into our support goal for the stream. It sure would be great if we could hit that support goal as soon as possible. So that way, once I start
313 and dropping.
we can, just focus on the game.
318. Look at him go. Rising, like Redbird, Felted.
So please consider
you're
it. Right
seething.
now,
you're coping.
We got some super chats. We got some tips. We even got some members. The one thing we don't have is any subs. So maybe some subs over on Kick could be warranted. Or, I'll be honest, since I started co-streaming, definitely the thing that has been lacking a little bit has been tips. I'm not saying that your support isn't great. It is, but definitely there's been a sharp decline in the amount of tips that I've been receiving.
Okay.
If you're thinking of contributing today, maybe a tip would be a good way to do that, but you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I'm not.
Think about this though. Just think about what he's actually saying in the position that he's in. He's complaining about not receiving tips since he started co-streaming on Kick because people are buying Kick memberships because you actually get something for it instead of a tip where you get fuck all and he might not even read your message. People are getting memberships through Kick instead of tipping. He gets a 95% cut on Kick and gets it next month. He gets, I think it's a 97% cut or something like that on PayPal. They take 3% on every transaction. He gets a 97% cut and gets it today. Is that 3% difference or whatever the fuck it is, 2% difference? Is that really make or break for the guy? Is that worth bringing up and complaining about? If the support is all the same and it's just moved from one way to do it to another, do we really give a shit about actually 2 or 3%? And if so, That's fucking shitty. That's actually poor form. You should be embarrassed about crying about that kind of number.
I'm not here to tell you how to contribute because I don't have to worry about that anymore because you guys support me so much. I don't have to worry about, oh no, I don't have money to pay stuff this week. That's not the case. I'm good. So thank you for that. Okay. I have to burp. Excuse me. Okay. So let's talk about a couple other topics first before we get to the politics thing. So first off, okay, I received word from the viewer.
Oh, we got word from the viewer.
To me.
About PS5 Pro, right?
The PS4 Pro. Okay. So they gave me tracking info. And I
PSP's living like a decade in the past. It actually explains a lot.
The PS4 Pro. I said PS4 Pro. I meant to say PS5 Pro. My bad. It's a PS5 Pro, obviously.
And he does that a lot. It really does show out of touch he is with reality that he frequently says the last gen style things. Like when Black Ops 6 was coming out, I believe he called it Black Ops 4 and 5 at parts, even though those games came out years ago. He literally just doesn't know what's happening in the real world. It's kind of funny.
I'm getting a PS5 Pro. It's being donated.
That's what happens when you don't go outside often enough.
Being clear here, I would not have bought a PS5 Pro, being that I have a gaming PC. But a fan said, listen, I really want you to have it because I want you to do an unboxing. I want you to test games on it to see how they run compared to base PS4. And also they're interested in having me do some playthroughs on it. And I said, yeah, all right. If you donate it, absolutely. We'll do all that. We'll do a live unboxing. We'll set it up. We'll download some games digitally. We'll test both PS4 and PS5 games on it. And we'll see how they run and go from there. Maybe it'll even create a playthrough or two in the near future, right?
I think he started playing Veilguard on it last night. But this doesn't even make sense for content as far as DSP is concerned, because anybody who gives a shit about an unboxing, anybody who gives a shit about the comparison between PS5 and PS5 Pro are going to go watch somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, that has a higher production value than DSP Space fucking Gaming does. Like and I didn't watch it yesterday, so I can't say this with all certainty, but my assumption is he unboxed the console as obnoxiously as possible, made a big deal about, oh guys, look at this, whoa, cardboard, and then he installed some games and then played them and goes, wow, that looks a little bit better than the PS5, don't you think? Huh? Hey, well, you still can't get 60 FPS? What? In the modern age, dude, this is bullshit. And that was it. Right? Like that's all he's gonna do. I can't imagine there was a side-by-side comparison, you know, where they slide the screen over one way or another so you can visually see the difference change. That didn't happen. I promise you that. So if you really cared about the comparison, you would go watch one of those videos instead. If you really wanted to watch somebody unbox it, you would probably go watch somebody that has a better audio experience, you know, where the guys that wear gloves and they have the top-down camera, so you can actually see every nook and cranny of the box that they're doing and the plastic bag when they open it or whatever. Like, if you care about an unboxing, that's the content you're going to go watch. You're not going to watch DSP Space Gaming. So who is this for? It's just a shittier version of everything that everybody else is already doing.
Oh, I said all that, and they said, all right.
And thank you, Redbird, for the 2. He craps on the Pro, gets one, loves it. DSP for you. See, I didn't even know he liked it. That really is the icing on top. All that shit he talked about it, about how he didn't want it and it wasn't going to make the difference, to hear that he likes it, that really is the icing on top. Very cool.
All right, so they pre-ordered it. So they sent me the tracking info this morning, but it hasn't shipped. So the truth is, folks, if it didn't ship today, I'm not getting it tomorrow. Like, there's no way it's going to arrive on release day if they didn't ship it the day before. So, the truth is, I don't know when I'm getting it.
The truth of the matter is, I just want to live my life and have fun with it.
To track, and then it should have an estimate of arrival. I'm guessing the earliest I'm going to get it is Friday. Now, when on Friday, no idea. Could be any time during the day. So, what I'd like to do is lay out a day of content for Friday that is not PS5 Pro centric. All right? And hopefully it does show up on Friday. And if it does, then when it does, hey, we stop what I'm doing and we do the unboxing and we mess with the PS5 Pro for the rest of the day. But if it doesn't show up on Friday, that way we're not stuck there with nothing to do and big, giant, swollen blue balls because I didn't set anything up and we're just standing around like idiots. Okay? So what I would say is we got to figure out what I'm doing.
Like, why does this need to be said, though? Why does this need to be explained to your audience? Like, as somebody who also streams content sometimes, I don't think that I would have to tell you guys, I plan on doing this, unless that isn't possible, in which case I'm going to have something set up just in case. That way we're not just sitting here with our thumbs up our asses or whatever. Like, why do you have to say that to your audience? Just plan it. Tell them this is your plan and you'll do something else if not. Very cool, very robust, move on. You spend fucking 15 minutes waffling on, talking in circles about something that doesn't actually matter to the audience because they're going to be here anyway. Goofy. Again, goofy. Thank you, good old Mitty, for the 6 months membership to the 60 Skulls. Fuck yeah, dude. I hate this guy. I agree. Never been a truer statement.
Friday, all right? And we need to talk about this today. And my idea, okay, would be, I guess, number one, we could play Slitterhead. It comes out on Friday.
Slitterhead sounds like a slur.
Not being as good
I'll say that till the day I die.
Not so hot on it. I feel like it could be an interesting, unique game to play. And I think a lot of people are going to want an honest opinion on it since reviewers seem to be all over the place on it. So we could do Slitterhead on Friday. That's number one. Number two, if you guys want, yeah, I could play Dragon Age Veilguard. We could do our very first stream of Veilguard. I'll have to get that EA Plus subscription service thing and do it through there on PC, and we could do a stream of that. So I'm basically, you know,
I hope DSP continues to play Veilguard, by the way. I saw just a little snippet of it last night while I was working on some OBS stuff, and I just hope that he keeps playing it because I can't think of a game I'm less interested in personally playing and a bigger waste of his time than playing something in the Dragon Age series. I don't like Dragon Age. I never really have. So it's a big W for Atlas to watch him play a game I don't fucking care about. Thank you, Plush the Duelist, for the 3 months. Sounds good to me. And by the way, Cat agrees. LOL. Thank you, Plush the Duelist, for the 3 months.
One of the two. I don't know what you guys would like. I think we should gauge that today. Would you rather have Slitterhead, or would you rather have me do a first stream of Veilguard and go from there, right? Now, Stealthy Kubo says, I feel like Slitterhead will get boring quick like Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difference.
Here's the thing.
With Ghostwire Tokyo, correct? I bought the game. I played it. It was good for a stream or two. It got boring, but I finished it, and the streams dried up by the end, and everyone was upset with the game and said it sucked. I don't have to keep playing games anymore. Get it? Like, I'm making enough money now. I don't have to keep playing games no one likes anymore. I can buy Slitterhead, play it for a stream or two, and if after 2 streams we're like, wow, this game sucks, I don't have to play it ever again. Just like we did with Star Wars Outlaws. Just like we did halfway through Black Myth Wukong. We don't have to waste my time anymore because I'm not beholden and committed to playing games because I'm not broke. Get it?
So guys, he's not broke anymore. He's well off. He's said it himself in videos that I've posted recently. He's doing very well, you guys. He's got a new washer dryer. He's got like an electrician coming or something to hang up ceiling fits. Dude, he can buy any game under the sun anymore. But what he really needs is to hit this tips goal right down here. 53 straight streams, guys. Come on. We're really low on tips as of late. Like, just think about how those two things go back to back all the time, every day. Guys, people love me now. It's been a real change in my business as of late, but I really still need your money, please. And the more you guys tip, actually, the less days I have to give you content, believe it or not. So give me more money so that you get less content. Sound good? It's just so asinine, dude. And it's really opened up Pandora's box, I think, in this case. Because how many times do you think now his dents are going to ask him to play every game under the fucking sun, make him buy it, and then tell him one stream in that they're no longer interested in seeing it and that the game sucks? How many different games is DSP never going to get a refund on because his audience makes him fucking play a bunch of games that he doesn't care about? I think he just should have kept his mouth closed. Again, this is one of those things that you don't have to announce. You could just do it and play your cards a little closer to your chest as to not fuck yourself over. But he tells all of his business instantly.
Things have definitely changed for the better. So we can actually test out a game and be like, oh, is it good? Is it not? Well, fuck that piece of shit. Let's do something else. I have that flexibility now. So, yeah, let's. It's up to you guys, right? Like, what would you like to do? And I want your feedback today because I need feedback all day long to determine what we're doing on Friday. So here's what we're going to do.
I like that. I need feedback all day long insinuates that there's something about the time frame that is important to the actual like gathering of information. We need to come to a conclusion. We don't have to gather information all day long. That's not how that works. Just the way he talks is so specifically stupid. It's impossible not to pick it apart the whole time because everything he says is dumb.
On Friday, the first stream will either be Slitterhead or the premiere of Dragon Age Veilguard, one or the other. But we have to determine what it's going to be. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Then,
shout out
Friday
all my
night,
Slitterheads.
we're going to tentatively set
playing
it
with fire on that
as
one.
Friday Night Fights, meaning the return of fighting games. Now, should it be Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or should it be Street Fighter 6? Again, that's up to you guys. All right? So let's talk about that. We need to figure out what we're doing Friday. You might say, well, why Friday? Because tomorrow I'm off. Tomorrow's my day off. Remember I told you? I have a rare day off that's kind of in the middle of the week because my wife and I have a bunch of appointments that we need to do tomorrow, and we couldn't make them work for the weekend, so that's what we have to do that way, okay?
He's decompressing his back, as you can see. Very important that we do that on the camera, of course.
So Friday is either going to be Slitterhead or Dragon Age Veilguard, and it's either going to be MVC2 or Street Fighter 6, unless the PS5 Pro arrives, and then it's going to be about the PS5 Pro.
All right. Sounds good. Now, in relation to his extra day off, I totally apparently missed this segment, and I showed up Thursday expecting the guy to be on, and then he wasn't. And then he came on yesterday. I did actually see this. I lied earlier. Sorry, Atlas, the lie keeper, I guess. I did see the segment where he talked about taking his wife to Costco. That was their big to-do. That was them spending time together. Going to Costco was completely different, by the way, than going grocery shopping. Apparently, those two actions are so fundamentally different that one of them is very stressful and the other one is completely fine and a good, fun way to spend your time with your significant other. Don't ask me how it makes sense. Don't ask me what the differences are. I could not tell you, as they also sell groceries at Costco. I'm just repeating what I was told by the guy. Thank you. Plush the Duelist for the 2. He'll do Street Fighter 6. I hope not. I hope Street Fighter 6 is gone indefinitely. I really do. I hope it never comes back. And I hope all of you are praying with me that that is the case. I don't care what deity you pray to, fake or real, however you want to see it. I don't care. It could be video game gods. Just please pray it doesn't come back for my sake.
So there you go.
There you go.
That's Friday. Now, Saturday, I'm off. You might say, wait, what? So you're off on Thursday, then you're back Friday, then you're off on Saturday. Yes. Sorry that my weeks are not consistent right now. I told you in November I'd be doing things differently and taking extra time off.
The stupidest fucking schedule possible.
Even though I will be here for like a 6-day streaming week, one stream I'm not going to be here because I got some personal stuff going on. So there's
more personal stuff. We love that.
Not a day missing, but a stream missing. Okay? So this is going to continue, and this is good for me and my family because we need this time. We need this time to do stuff. We need this time to be able to handle personal stuff behind the scenes, and having the one day off a week has not been enough. Now, because of the level of support you guys are giving me, I can do this, and I so much appreciate it. Trust me, guys. It really means a lot to me, okay?
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Give me more money so you get less content is the worst exchange in history. I'll never understand that. I mean, it's akin to being charged $100 for a video game, and instead of an 8-hour campaign, they gave you a 5. And then we're like, yeah, you guys giving us more money really allowed us to not give you a game. Why would you continue to give this person money if you receive more product for less? Like that's actually that's the worst transaction in history. It's like the opposite of the art of the deal. Topical.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm off on Saturday. When I come back on Sunday, it's gameplay again. Okay? Now, what will it be? Well, do we need to finish Life is Strange, or am I going to finish it today? Probably I'm going to need another stream to finish it, right? More Call of Duty, for sure. I'm dying to play Call of Duty. I'm craving it right now.
Dying to play Call of Duty. It's an addiction.
It's more addictive than it's been in years.
Literally,
and I'm
he said
playing
it.
And unlocking and getting the scopes and doing all the shit. I'm really having a good time. I can't wait to play more. So I hope that you will join me, you know, at my continued journey to play Call of Duty. So good stuff. And
as a Call of Duty player, he's got some of the worst COD gameplay I've ever seen. It really is like, and I would love to take an entire stream to just break down DSP COD gameplay because it is the lowest IQ gameplay of COD I might have ever seen, and I've seen literal children play the game. I've never seen anyone sprint full speed into the center of the map more than the guy. It is actually fucking wild. And then all of the shots he claims he hits and he's way off on Hell yeah, dude. You want to talk about Street Fighter Assault? I think Call of Duty is the real W there.
Yeah, so that's coming. And then next week, all right, there's really no big releases at all right now. Just so you guys know, taking a look at my game release schedule. Hold on, because I clicked the wrong thing. Notes, here it is. Here's where I have my schedule. Yeah, after Slitterhead on Friday, the next big game would be considered Dragon Quest III Remake on the 14th, but I don't think you guys are in the mood
yes,
for a lengthy
every
RPG,
death in COD is skill-based matchmaking, and they're literally making they're literally making his bullets disappear and enemies are invisible. That's fucking crazy. The level of cope you have to think that that's actually happening is kind of wild. He took skill-based matchmaking as an excuse and fucking ran. He thought it was a full marathon. He is cosplaying as Usain Bolt when he heard that. God damn.
Game is Microsoft Flight Sim on the 19th. So we have some flexibility to focus in on the games that you guys want, whether it's Slitterhead, whether it's Veilguard, whether it's more Call of Duty, whether it's I do stuff on PS5 Pro, because there's been discussion, serious discussion, about perhaps me doing a run in a game that's going to run better. For example, Bloodborne has a resolution upscale mode that apparently people are saying makes the game look a lot better on PS5 Pro. Now, it's not frame rate, but it's resolution. The game will look a lot
what
sharper
game he's
and
talking
actually have
about.
more detail.
Sorry.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility,
All
though,
right,
and it sounds good, dude.
Let's see what happens in the next
Higher,
week with all of these games and go from there.
resolution.
All right? I'm kind of
Very
leaving it big
cool.
open to see what you guys want, because there really is nothing going on until late November, so we have this big flexibility to do what we want in my content, okay? Keep in mind, we finished Retro React to Silent Hill 1. Currently, people are voting on a poll for what they want for the next game for Retro React.
Whoa,
on PS5
plus the
Pro
Duelist with the
We'll give it a
5
break, and that's not
gifted.
gonna come back till December. In addition,
Hell yeah,
this
dude.
Monday is my final ever episode of DSP versus the Internet, the weekly clips react show. Once that's done, that show is retired.
Thank
All
fuck.
right?
I cannot express how excited I am for DSP Reacts to be over. Or I guess it's not the whole channel because we're doing politics now. Ack. But the clip show, oh, fuck. Detractor W all day long. Nobody has to sit through the clip show anymore. It's like Christmas came early, really. You want to talk about bad DSP content. That was some of the worst shit I've ever watched. And we suffered through it together. So many fun memories, right?
And then
Sleepy Don with the 10. DSP Reacts failed because of skill-based matchmaking. They literally made his videos invisible. How was he supposed to get views, stupid? And then these fucking detractors spawned right behind his stream sniping him. It's like they don't even care about their online audience, you guys. This is bullshit.
we get to
Thank you for the 10 months, Sleepy Don.
Do some fun stuff there. So it's going to give me more time in my schedule, right? Which is excellent. I want more time to not have a whole day broken up for the reacting, instead to have days again. We can bring back fighting games regularly. We can bring back chill games like Stardew Valley, right? Or we could start new content like DS Politics, all right? So I think you're getting.
I hate when he whispers into the microphone.
Right? Okay, so now that that's been discussed, I received a $2 tip. Someone says, I saw you put up a poll for Stellar Blade. Is that a serious option? Well, as I said, maybe what we do, all right? If people really want it, then they got to put their money where their mouth is. So how about this?
You kill a god?
The record
Grand and intoxicating
that I had of the best streak.
Whoa, Penitent Sin with the 5 gifted. Thank you, brother. Hell yeah. So, you know, both member bombs. I've seen a lot of familiar names. Hell yeah, dude.
Years
the right
ago
people are getting them.
Was 276 streams. So how about this?
How about
if we
this?
hit 276 streams where my goals are hit straight.
Amazing. You know, just when you thought everything was coming up, Atlas, little did you know I was actually going to be felted and destroyed shortly after. It's amazing how that works sometimes. Life just hits different when you're live on a Saturday morning, I suppose. Let me fix it. I'm moving. I'm grooving. I'm hustling. See, you guys don't know, but streaming is so much harder than a real 9 to 5. All of those other famous streamers will tell you the exact same thing, and they won't even be lying. They will. They are the whole time. Asinine fucking take, all of them. All right, we're back. We're here. We're moving. We're grooving. We're
so
grinding.
how about this? If we hit 276 streams where my goals are hit straight without interruption, the streak continues to 276, I will do a playthrough of Stellar Blade.
Whoa.
How about that?
Give him $40,000, 276 streams, which, by the way, he claimed he didn't remember the vest streak the other day. Very silly of him. I know that he knows. 40K to play Stellar Blade. And the funniest part of this to me is he's not even promising a playthrough of Stellar Blade. He is promising to play Stellar Blade. And I could absolutely imagine this piece of shit receiving $40,000 and launching the game for all of 2 minutes to play the tutorial and closing it, and then uninstalling it, and then laughing in your face. 100% could see it happening. He did say playthrough? All right, then I'm felted and I'm dumb. At no point either way did I hear
That's
full
the reaction I
playthrough.
expected. People are freaking out. We get me there. Get me there. You want me to play this game that I don't care about? Get me to 276. Let's tie the vest streak. And if we tie the vest streak, I will play Stellar Blade. Now, Double M says that is completely unrealistic.
Absolutely.
Just say
100%.
you're never playing it. If we hit 276, I'm playing it. I just said it. If we hit 276, I'm playing Stellar Blade. It's happening. Okay? Ellipsian says, sweeten the pot. Make it that if we hit 400, you'll go back and play Code Vein. You guys...
Imagine telling your audience that behind this massive, completely unreasonable paywall, you can finally see the content that a bunch of people in the audience have been asking for. And I know it's a meme, and I know it's, you know, it's a detractor thing that he's scared of women or whatever, but wouldn't it be funny for the content to felt the trolls and detractors to actually play the game and have a good time and not have any issue with the character at all? Wouldn't that actually make for better content? And you would be, you know, giving your audience the game that they were asking for since before it came out. Wouldn't that be actually better for your channel? Of course not. We don't care about that, stupid. We only care about $40,000. That's what we need. You know how many fucking Logans we can pull?
You're gonna make me play every game I never wanted to play. But do you see the difference here? I want you to understand something. When I am doing well, okay, and I'm getting good support, and I'm making money, and I'm in a situation where everything is calm and good, and I don't have to worry about shit, I can do whatever I want with my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's awesome. Is this not a better feeling to say, wow, Phil can actually just play a game, and if it's not good, we don't have to sit here and suffer through weeks of how bad it is? Is it, wait, he's going to do a silly challenge where maybe in a few months he's actually playing Stellar Blade? Yeah, I can do that now. And it's you guys who made it possible. I want you to understand that. But this is the point I was making for years, is that when people just shit on me constantly and don't take me seriously, and because of that now I'm struggling and I can't pay my bills and my life is falling apart, then I can't have fun. Get it? But now I can have fun. That's the difference here. Life is getting better and becoming way more fun because the shit is ending. Because these fucking loser stalkers have failed and no one cares about them anymore.
Okay.
They're irrelevant losers.
True. All of that is true and based, obviously. But this is exactly why DSP is a lol cow. Because other people talking shit about him online actively stops him from having fun. It stops him from making content. It stops him from putting effort into anything because he feels as if everybody doesn't care. That's why he's a lol cow. Because his, like, I'm not going to say his self-image is entirely, you know, controlled by people online, because it's not. His ego is fucking massive. But for some reason, people talking shit about him online determines every action that he takes. That's his biggest problem. And he continues to acknowledge it and admit it openly on every single stream at this point, just to go on to say that the detractors don't matter, while they literally pull the strings all of the time and make his life hell. What are you talking about, man? Just stop talking about this. Just move on positively.
So thank you for allowing that to happen, because it really is you, in conjunction with me never giving up. It's you guys supporting me the way you have, okay?
And he was the only person that was ever making himself play these games that he didn't find fun. He's the only person that would constantly tell his audience that he couldn't quit games early, even if they weren't interested, simply because he purchased the game. as if he was ever going to make the money back up with nobody watching the content. That was the part of the strategy that never made sense to me, that he thought that because he purchased a game for full price, that if he continued to play it even though no one was watching, it somehow validated the purchase. If you're not making money off of it, if nobody wants to see it, you already lost out, brother. Just call it a day and move on to something that will make you money. You're just being stubborn and ignorant.
So there you go. If we hit 276 straight streams, hitting the goals, crushing the trolls, I'm playing Stellar Blade. We've done it. Lock it in. Lock it in. Darth Fig says, when are you going to go back to Sea of Stars? You're already more than halfway through it. I've told you I want to play it again.
Never.
I think I
It's
will
not
eventually.
coming.
All right,
It's not coming back.
I will. We've got to find a time to get it to fit into the schedule. Right now, I'll be honest, I am craving fighting games again. I want to get them back into the schedule, at least semi-regularly. And I do want to get like a chill stream back into the schedule because we have...
Why is he incapable of describing anything as non-addictive? He's not capable of it. Every single game, I have a craving for it. I need it. It's like I was like addicted to it. Every single hobby he has, every single franchise he's interested in, he always describes them as a craving, as an addiction, as like something that he was basically drawn into and couldn't get out of. Like legitimately prime time fucking addiction. I'm gonna say host here. That seems like a strange thing to say. That's not how that's worded, but it is now. Like he's got a legitimate fucking problem and an addictive personality. Exactly, Jim G. And he doesn't see the issue. He just keeps acknowledging it openly on his streams with no issue. I don't know how you can say so many things that so clearly paint a certain picture of you and not understand the problem. Like saying things out loud is supposed to make them clearer. That's why people, when they talk to other people, sometimes they think through their ideas more coherently and get a better picture of their own thoughts because they said it out loud. That's how it's supposed to work. But with DSP, it seems to be the exact opposite. If he says it out loud, he doesn't even, think about it mentally. It just falls out of his mouth.
I haven't had one now, and I feel like getting either Stardew or something similar. Like, for example, Microsoft Flight Simulator's coming out soon. I think that would be, like, perfect, right? That would be a perfect deal. But we'll see. But I definitely want to bring back Sea of Stars. I liked the game a lot. I really did. I really enjoyed it. So...
Then he should have finished it. He could have kept playing it. He should have drawn his audience into it and made them interested.
Like, oh, so it's $40,000 to play Stellar Blade. Yes, you're right.
Yes.
I require exactly $40,000 payment to play Stellar Blade. In fact, how about this? That's
what he's asking for. Like, he's acting as though this is absurd, but that is quite literally what the final number is, right? If I told you that if you paid me $10 every single day for an entire year, and on the final day of the year, I'd punch you in the mouth, I'm essentially telling you that you owe me $3,650 to get punched in the face. If you wanted to pay that up front, I guess you could, and just get your payments out of the way. I don't know, man. I don't know.
If someone just sends me $40,000 right now, I'll just play Stellar Blade today. So someone drop the $40K right now, and I'll just clear my schedule, and we can play Stellar Blade today. In fact, the PS5 Pro is coming, and did you know Stellar Blade is upgraded to run well on the PS5 Pro? So there you go. All you got to do is send me $40K. All right, let's get it going. Who's going to do it?
And it's this arrogance. It's this flaunting of, again, something that his audience has consistently asked for since before the game came out, to flex on them and tell them that they have to pay an absurd amount of money in order to see the content they want to see from a streamer they like. Think about how counterintuitive that is to your community. Think about how much of a detriment that is to the future viewings of your content. But we're gonna fucking sit here and laugh and fucking sit here and look smug drinking out of our shitty little cup. Never mind.
That's all it would take. A small contribution.
All right. Thank you, Matik, for the 9 months, saying, get me 40K to play this game. By the way, I never said you needed to pay me 40K to play this game. That's Detractor lies. And that's exactly what it would be. Exactly. Thank you for the 9 months. Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway. I don't think I have any eccentric millionaires who watch me who are going to drop 40K for Stellar Blade. Okay, anyway.
You wish you did, though.
No, enough with this wheeling and dealing. I'm the one who wheels and deals. We got Stealthy Kupo trying to wheel and deal. He goes, oh, but your streak used to be $100 for the vest, so now we should scale it properly. No. I control this deal, not you. The deal is 276, hitting this goal, and then I play Stellar Blade. That's the deal. No, you don't get to change the deal. All right?
Dude. This is actually some of the least likable I think DSP's been in a while. And this is after going through the Keno Arc and the completely inflated ego. He's literally laughing in his audience's face as they tell him that the expectation is absurd. They'd like to see the content, but the goal isn't even scaled to what the previous expectation was. That it's quite literally unfair. And he laughs in their fucking face. The idea that anybody would sit around and unironically enjoy this content after this really just goes to show you how mentally stunted these dunces are, to, you know, use some DSP vocabulary there. That's actually fucking insane. This guy's a joke. Anybody still giving this guy money after this, Snoot included, is a lost cause. Like, it really is an issue that they should get looked into for. Actually, as they say. Plus the duelist with the 2. 40,000 is no small payment, except for Keemstar. Yes, Keemstar should pay DSP the 40K in order to play Stellar Blade as a forgiveness, or as an apology to the detractors for such a shitty interview. Really, travesty, that one.
My goodness. That's right. You want the game, you play the game with the king. You play by the king's rules, you fill the king's taxes, and then, you know, then we'll get the game. Yeah, that's how it works. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, now,
Stealthy Kupo, I better never see you in chat again, or you're a cuck.
About the whole political thing. Would you like to? Let's do a little thing here. We're around 49 minutes in. So we're going to start talking about this. And here, I have some ideas, all right, about how I can start covering political content for you guys, all right?
All right, here we go. Back into politics.
Okay. So, everyone, yeah.
Had to put YouTube mode on.
There's been demand for me to branch out and do different kinds of content. And I've tried some. I've tried reacting content, correct? Now I'm trying collabs and interviews and the like. I'm trying various different styles of content. I feel like some of it has worked to some extent. Some of it is not, okay? Some of it I'm trying to redo or re-explore because it worked for a couple of years and now it's not anymore, right? But in regards to politics, this has always been something that I have stayed out of. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a politically outspoken guy in my content. I don't bring it up in my gameplay or my streams. Every once in a while, there'll be a topic that I feel like I have to bring up or talk about, and it's fine, but for the most part, I leave it out. Why? Because I've told you guys, I feel like my content is kind of escapist content. If you're coming to my channel to enjoy a game, you don't want to be lambasted and attacked with real-life stuff that's going on outside of my streams of the game, right?
Like your bills? Like how you can't afford to eat groceries? Like how you need new appliances? Like how you can't afford to spend time with your wife outside of the stream? Are maybe all of those real life things that are completely unrelated to your stream and shouldn't make a difference to your audience? Are those the kind of things that you should also be leaving out? It's just a question. I'm just following the logic here. Also, another fucking lie, because I'm pretty sure, I didn't happen to have time to catch this. My apologies to ALT. He does fantastic work. I'm pretty sure that there's one or maybe even 2 streams where ALT went through all of the times that DSP said something about politics throughout his career there, right? Or at least a lot of them. So what do you mean you never bring it up, or you're never really outspoken on these things? You don't bring it up during gameplay. That's obviously not the case. He's made it very clear up to this point that he hasn't liked any president since he's been making content, and the only reason I know that is because he's told me. So what are you talking about? Again, it's just lie after lie after lie to sell a narrative that you don't have to convince people of. You just don't have to talk about it, you know? You could just move forward without lying and nobody would be the wiser. Just stop.
You didn't come to DSP Gaming to hear about some local government issue that's happening out here and hear me bitch about it like a whiner, right? You don't want to hear about me complaining about who just got elected president or whatever, right? You're here to enjoy the game. I get it. Me too. Like, that's been the enjoyable part of my content for all of these years. You know what I'm saying?
I thought the enjoyable part of the content was the fun, meaningful interactions that he has on a daily basis. Now it's just watching the game? Okay, if you say so.
It's been a long time that I've been doing this kind of content. But I understand that if I am going to continue to be relevant on the internet and I'm going to continue to have an audience that likes me and will support, I have to evolve. Okay?
I have to
and you
evolve.
guys have been asking me for years for political content.
Who? Just, not to sound like an owl or anything, but name one person specifically, please. Tell me who's asking for DSP politics, other than the whale that left, that I'm drawing a blank on the name of. God damn it. He was like the $25 tipper. There's burn holes in my brain. Please help. Help. Fuck. What's his name? What's his name? No, the other one. 1 Minute Man. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. Yes, 1 Minute Man who wanted to get political, and then you shit all over him, telling him that you're not going to read his bullshit, and then he left. That's the one person that wanted DSP politics as far as I fucking know. And he didn't do it. He waited until after he was gone.
But the line that I've always danced on here is, how do you do it? Because I have long-standing viewers and fans that absolutely positively don't want anything to do with politics. They just want to be here for games, or they want to chill with me on a podcast or have a fun Q&A. And I am down for that. 1,000,000%. I really am. I don't want people who have no interest in these topics to then be inundated with them and have the content spoiled. To be honest, these last few months, three and a half months now, where my content has changed a bit. Because now I'm talking a little bit of drama every once in a while. I'm doing stuff with Keno Casino, and they're, let's be honest, they're drama guys, right?
Yeah.
And people are, oh, now your content has changed. Well, no, in reality it hasn't. I'm still playing games. I'm still having fun. That stuff hasn't changed, correct?
Okay.
But admittedly, there's different stuff that we're doing now that I never did before.
So the content changed then, right? Like, again, just DSP, just telling mistruths, lies, if you were willing to call them that, back to back. Guys, my content hasn't changed. Well, except for the new content that I do that's completely different from anything I've ever done before. That is different, but nothing has changed. Those sentences can't go back to back like that. You could have just left off the first part and go, well, the gameplay is still the same, but you guys are right that there is other content that is different, and I don't want to inundate you with content that you don't want to see. That would be the better way to say that, not to straight up fucking lie and misrepresent the situation in order to try and pignatize your audience. There's just no need for that. And the more he does it...
Good morning, Kanye.
Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Thank you, Atlas the Bookkeeper, for the 5 Canadian. Wonder which Canadian that could be. At DSP Space Gaming. Just wanted to say thank you for the COD coaching. I learned a lot. As soon as I'm unbanned, I'll be sure to tip again. Thank you, King. All right, anybody pretending to be Atlas in the chat is banned on site. Snood, I hope you take care of this person. That would suck if you didn't ban this fraud here, okay? Now I've completely lost my train of thought. Thank you. We're just gonna move on positively.
I mean, this gaming PC has been a godsend, not only for games, but I can now watch videos, do other content and stuff that I wasn't able to do with my old setup. And it's working really well in that regard, I believe. So thank you for that, and thanks for all the help and everything. So let's talk, because here's the deal. We just had a ginormous election. The election is now over. The results are in. Undeniable. Change is coming. And I think this would be an excellent time. Hi, Jasper Kitty. For me to
oh my God.
begin with new projects and new kinds of content. Shout out to Mr. Jupel, who did a $7.77 super chat and says, $40,000. Can we hit it? He's talking about a 276 stream streak of the goal, of course. Thank you, Mr. Jupel.
So he's aware that $40,000 is actually well, I guess he was before that because he addressed it. But yes, he is openly acknowledging that $40,000 is the asking price and the goal. Can we hit it? Of course. Thank you, DSP. And I did not forget that one Paiute. came through with the 5. Thank you so much, brother. Relevant on the internet, in quotes. That's hilarious. Big ups to the skulls. Well, big ups back to you. Yes, he's been describing himself as relevant on the internet for a bit of this arc now, and every single time I can't help but chuckle. It's a little funny that he thinks he's important again.
I appreciate that. That gets us up to $58 in contributions today so far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Okay. Cool. All right, so.
All right, cool. Very good segue. I liked that.
How could I possibly do this? How could I tackle political topics, all right, but not have it negatively affect my gameplay? How could I...
You don't include it in the gameplay.
Have a show where I'm honest and I open up with an interactive audience and talk about my feelings, my leanings, my beliefs, without having that permeate into gameplay or take up too much time from gameplay. Because I'm going to be honest here. I am not going to jump head in. I'm not going to do a full flip. For example, side-scrollers. Side-scrollers was brought back in 2023 as a gaming podcast and pop culture, and
I'm gonna run this back. I'm gonna run this back because he's gonna go on a whole fucking tangent here. What I want to say is it's absurd. It's absurd to me that he really thinks that he's gonna be able to do any sort of political content and it not permeate onto his other channels, into his other content. If you attract an audience that is political, and I believe this about any political channel, regardless of the other types of content that you do, that audience will somehow manage to seep their way into your other content and make it a worse place. I like people who care about political content enough to watch it on YouTube and watch other people's political takes cannot help themselves online and will make it an issue. I'm not going to see it any other way. I've seen a lot of political content on the internet, and that's the way that it seems to be working. They're not well behaved, the political crowd. So it's kind of an absurd ask to think that it's not gonna infect everything you touch. It's just the way that it is, man.
Having that permeate into gameplay or take up too much time from gameplay. Because I'm going to be honest here. I am not going to jump head in. I'm not going to do a full flip. For example, side-scrollers. Side-scrollers was brought back in 2023 as a gaming podcast and pop culture, and it failed miserably. It was not entertaining. No one liked it. The show failed, and so they basically turned it into 100% a flip into political drama. Incredibly right-leaning political drama, that is, and it worked because of what's been going on in American politics. I truly feel that if what was happening wasn't happening, the show wouldn't have been a success. It's just that that was the topic everyone wanted to talk about, and they leaned right the fuck into it, right? That's not...
People have been talking about politics online for a very long time, and they've always been successful at it. It's just it's the way that it's literally always been, especially as of late. Like, you could have made a political commentary channel at any time from 2015 to now and probably have been successful if you just, you know, weren't a regard in the case of DSP. I almost said the real word. That would have been unfortunate.
Not what I'm going to do. It's not going to be, oh, Phil's dropping everything that he's ever wanted to do and was successful at and is going to do all politics, okay?
But he always says this as if it's some sort of negative. Like, yes, I don't particularly care for side-scrollers right-wing grifting either, but it was, if their business wasn't successful, does Stuttering Craig not get a kudos for shifting his business to being successful so they can continue to pay his employees? I mean, if you don't like the content, don't fucking watch it. But like, to sit here and shit on Stuttering Craig for running a successful business seems kind of asinine to me. Whatever. Paul J. Brazel Jr. with the 2. I know Lewis Black. I can't wait for DS Politics. I don't know who Lewis Black is. This is a name unknown to me. Please inform me. Big ups for the 2, Paul J. Brazel Jr. I appreciate it all the same, but please inform me. I'm confused. He's a comedian. Huh? This is news to me. All right, if you say so. Big ups Lewis Black. Maybe I'll look into that later. I'll save it into a tab.
A schedule of me playing games regularly, doing this podcast.
Also, Zoomer alert. Like, that should be on screen all the time. Come on.
You know,
Come on.
into it. All right. So how can that happen? Well,
Told you I got burn holes in my
there's
brain.
a couple things that I kind of came up with that I want to talk with you guys today. I'm curious on everyone's opinion on this. As you know, first of all, I've started co-streaming on Kick. It's not just me streaming on DSP Gaming anymore or on YouTube, but I have DSP Gaming Real, my channel on Kick where I'm streaming, and I've streamed out there for about a month. Have I gotten traction? Not really. I really feel like the audience on Kick, a lot of them were people who would have been on YouTube regardless, and they just moved over to Kick instead. I do believe that there are some new viewers on Kick, just not a ton. Like, my streams on average are getting around...
What a low
40
bar
viewers,
that is,
something
though.
like that, right?
I believe
Now,
there's
that's not a
some
great
new
audience.
viewers over on Kick, but not a lot. There's 40 viewers total. Like, so let's be generous and say he got 20 new viewers on Kick. Was that worth his time, effort, and the money that he spent on Restream.io? I don't know. Especially because the memberships can like loop and they can stack. Like, you can give somebody 3 months worth of memberships on Kick in one go if you wanted to, and because he literally doesn't have the viewer base. I don't know.
But at the same time,
maybe
if
it's
I were
beneficial
to
to
just completely
him.
drop streaming on YouTube and say I'm only streaming on Kick, I bet you I would get several hundred viewers a stream, if not more. Just being honest. I think right now it's my audience is pulled and torn between the two, right? So, here's the deal. If I'm going to do politics, I'm not going to live stream it on YouTube. I feel like the place to be for politics would be Kick. That would be the place where I can kind of be open and honest, right? I don't have to worry about crap going down with, oh, Phil said something and now people, oh my God. Instead, I can just be open and honest about my feelings about politics over there. All right? So if I'm going to do a live stream about politics, it's 100% going to be exclusively live streamed on Kick.com. And yes, it will be on my channel, the DSP Gaming Real channel. Okay? So there you go.
Does he
and here's the thing.
Does he think that that would stop it though? Like genuinely, how many times have you seen people get banned off of platforms for things that happened off of the platform that they said or did? All of those people who say edgy shit online on one platform to then go get banned on the one that they make their money off of. This isn't like a safeguard like he thinks that it is, especially when those people could feel free to come to his content on YouTube and say all of the same awful things that they would say on Kick and make it a problem on his actual content. It's just, there's not a way that I think this could go for him positively. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't know where his mind is at. I don't see how he could think this was a good idea, in all honesty. Thank you, Demi-Fiend, for the 2. How long will this positivity wave last, do you reckon? I give it to the end of the year. Honestly, I think come the beginning of next year, we're down again. Like that, maybe, I don't know. It's just a guess. It's cyclical, so who gives a fuck, I guess. I don't know. The Deep Fryer with the 5. Thank you so much. Side Scrollers has 100k subs, but they're definitely not successful. Does Phil not know how turning an actual profit works? Well, they also get over 20,000 views like per video, and DSP can't even manage 1,000 on some. So I would venture to say no, he does not understand how actually turning a profit works or how to even maintain a business online. Hence why he begs every day. Not exactly the best business strategy, despite his degree. Thank you for the 5.
People are saying, well, I wouldn't make a Kick account, but I would still watch. Maybe I would contribute via a tip. You can do that. You don't have to make an account to watch someone on Kick. You could just watch the stream raw. And then if you want to talk, you're absolutely right. You don't have to do subs or gifted subs. You could send a tip. The tips will always be open. So you don't have to contribute. A lot of people don't like Kick. Like, Kick is, it's what do they call it? It's like Bitcoin currency and gambling. I don't like supporting that. You don't have to. You can tip me directly via PayPal. And we could do it that way. I'm glad Play Cool said it right there. That was the perfect time to bring it up.
Thank God Play Cool shilled for me, because I really didn't even think about it, you guys. I wasn't even gonna beg, but since Play Cool brought it up, you could always tip me. And think about that though. He's trying to sell you on DSP politics. He's trying to sell you on going to Kick to watch this shit, even if you don't like it. And the way that he's doing that is, well, you could always support me through tips, you guys. I know that's your main concern, is that you don't want to support Kick. Well, you can support me through tips all the same. I don't think that that's a selling point. I don't think that that should be the main concern as you're trying to build up a new form of content. I don't think that that should be the main concern while you're trying to draw in a new audience that actually gives a shit about politics in your content, because from what I've seen, most of them don't. It just shouldn't even be a priority, and it really goes to show you where his mentality is when it comes to doing new content. Thank you, Mizzy TDR, for the 5. I can't wait to see Dave become the new Joe Rogan or Sean Hannity. Oh, absolutely, dude. Joe Rogan, Sean Hannity, Destiny, Hassan, those people are going to be irrelevant once DSP hits the scene. I mean, think about all of the fantastic debates DSP is going to have with other political commentators. I mean, Tim Pool is going to have DSP on in no time. Just watch out. After he fires the rest of his staff for not hanging TVs or something, he's going to hire DSP, the best in the business. Jasper, pull up that clip. Yo, he's muted. What the fuck? What the fuck?
My attention on
My bad.
Kick.
Let me run it back. Let me run it back.
Have to contribute. A lot of people don't like Kick. Like, Kick is, it's what do they call it? It's like Bitcoin currency and gambling. And I don't like supporting that. You don't have to. You can tip me directly via PayPal, and we could do it that way. I'm glad Play Cool said it right there. That was the perfect time to bring it up. It absolutely would work there. Okay, that would be fine. So
I do genuinely 100% want to see DSP on Joe Rogan, though. Not that I'm a Joe Rogan viewer by any means, but the DSP episode would have to be top tier. It just the global stage that DSP would be put on would be absolutely hysterical.
Guess what? If I'm doing purely political streams on Kick, I think that's going to boost my attention on Kick. I haven't talked about this recently, but the reason that I haven't gone forward on Kick with things like verification or being in their major high-end partner program, I don't have enough viewers. You need to have, I think it's an average of like 100 viewers. It's either 100 or like 70, 80. You need a good amount of average viewers on your streams on Kick to qualify. I don't qualify because my audience is small.
Nobody watches your shit.
If I only streamed on Kick, I absolutely would qualify overnight, but I don't only stream on Kick. And because of that, most people are still watching me on YouTube, okay? So, politics content to be live streamed would be exclusive streams on my Kick channel, okay? You could still watch. You don't have to register for Kick. You certainly don't have to support Kick. You could always send a tip or whatever during one of those streams. But to be frank, I do feel
shout out Frank
that streaming on Kick with politics-style content would work, all right? Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think it would make sense for me to do those kind of streams on nights when Keno Casino is live.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Because I feel like it would kind of be competition. And I don't think it would benefit either. So what I might have to do is kind of figure out with those guys, like what's their schedule like and, do they have plans for certain nights or whatever? And then I could plan my political streams around the nights that they're not broadcasting. Because as you know, I broadcast more than they do, right? I'm
just when has DSP ever been this considerate to somebody else? Just riddle me that one. When is the last time that DSP ever took into consideration any other person's opinion or schedule? He doesn't. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it for his wife. He doesn't do it he doesn't do it for the people that he wants to collab with doing interviews. He does not give a fuck about anybody else until it comes to the Keno Casino streaming at the exact same time he does. Because he really 100% legitimately believes that a portion of their audience, a significant enough portion of their audience, also watches his content, and that he would be losing out on viewership. Absolutely cucked by the fucking Keno Casino to curtail his fucking schedule around theirs. A schedule which, by the way, I don't even think is all that consistent. And from what I've seen of the Keno Casino, it kind of seems like they just stream when they want to, and then they don't fairly frequently. But guys, I need to nail down your schedule because I don't want to step on any toes or anything.
I'm here usually 6 days a week.
Keno cuck for real, for real.
5, but I'm broadcasting a ton, right? So maybe I have to coordinate it so I'm not biting into their audience, and that way people can enjoy both streams and not have to be like, oh, who do I choose tonight? Okay.
Yes, because it would be a great decision they would have to make whether or not to watch your shit ass content or their content.
Now, here's the deal. Let's say the political content is streamed exclusively on Kick, but you can't catch the Kick stream. Darn, I can't make it. Well, when can you actually watch it? Well, Kick does archive streams. How long is it actually? Does anyone know how long Kick will archive a stream? Let me take a look.
Oh my fucking god! I forgot he did this.
At Studio and videos on demand.
This is the type of, I'm gonna lower his volume.
So it
I don't give a fuck. This is the type of thing that he definitely should have been doing or figured out far before he ever started streaming and talking about this. It's not that complicated to just very quickly look up how long Kick holds archives for. This isn't something that he had to do live. He doesn't have to go investigate on the fucking website itself. He doesn't have to ask his audience. Just look it up. He's literally on a computer.
Now, here is my plan. All right. Oh, really? Harry Hedgehog says it's longer than that because I know for sure Keno keeps theirs longer on their Kick channel. Are you sure about that? Because I'm looking right now. I'm on my Kick channel. I'm on my dashboard. I'm in the studio. I'm on videos on demand.
I'm in the studio right now.
Down, and the latest or the last
writing
one
diss tracks about my ops
says 9 days ago, and it was actually Retro Reacts Silent Hill 1 from the end of October.
We're smoking that rich pack tonight.
And if I click
Hell
on
yeah,
it,
dude.
What happens if I click on it? Apparently not. Oh, wait. Oh, it opens up, and you can delete or you can share. You can edit the title, and that's it from what I can see. Like, that's the limit from what I can see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just telling you what I see in my dashboard, and I am relatively new, right? I am relatively new to this. So, you know,
relatively
maybe
new to what? To streaming on Kick?
I don't know. All right.
He acts like this is fucking alien technology. Guys, I'm new to this. I don't know how any of this works. Like, it's not just any other streaming website. It's not complicated. You stream to it the exact same way that you would stream to any other fucking platform. What is the confusion? I don't get it.
But here's my idea. Live stream on Kick exclusively political content. Leave the archives there so people can check them after the fact. Don't compete with Keno Casino. Let them do their thing in the nights that they're not streaming. That
it was never a competition.
My politics stuff. And
as a matter of fact, as a fucking matter of fact, I don't remember who said this or whether or not these numbers are accurate, but I was told at some point by somebody, don't know how accurate this is, the Keno Casino loses a quarter or a third of their audience when DSP is on. I don't think that it's a competition to see who's rushing over to watch, to watch whose content. I don't even think it's a competition at all. In fact, I think that their audience dislikes DSP the more they see him, as they should, as everybody should, really. And thank you, Demi Fiend, for the 2. Imagine having a cybersecurity job. Screw us. I'm confused as to what that's in reference to. But I agree. I agree. Screw cybersecurity. Let me get hacked, bozo.
Clip the best moments and upload those to YouTube. That way, if you're totally against Kick, you want nothing to do with Kick whatsoever, you don't have to go over there. I will highlight some of the best moments, discussions, and topics as clips. Just like I've been doing on this channel, I've been clipping from the podcast, from gameplay. I even just did a clip from the React show, and I make it the stream highlights on this channel. I would do the same thing for the political content that I'm doing over on Kick. However, it will not be on DSP Gaming.
I'm being told I can't read. That's a true statement. That's a true statement.
Gaming. It will be
on
DSP Reacts.
Whoa.
Because it makes sense.
Who would have thought?
Because I'm retiring my show. There will not be 5 videos a week on DSP Reacts anymore from the clip show. Instead,
there shouldn't have been
what
to begin
I can do
with.
Is take my politics show, and I can do several highlights from the show and release them as clips on DSP Reacts over the course of the week. So if you miss the live stream, you go to DSP Reacts, and you can catch all the highlights and clips over the course of a given week. Okay? You might
think about how fucking complicated he's always made his content to watch, though. And this is just another example of that. He's got 3 different channels. He streams on 2 different platforms. He breaks his content up in the dumbest way fucking possible. He entirely removes his stream archives on his DSP gaming channel, so you can't watch any of it in the way that it was originally presented. He just goes out of his way to make it as difficult as possible to actually keep up with any of his content, but he expects you to watch it all. He wants his audience to give him as much money as possible, as much viewership as possible, while making it as difficult as possible. I don't get it. I don't understand why that would be the case. Now, you might be saying, Atlas, but you also stream on Twitch sometimes. Don't you do the same thing? No, stupid, because I don't give a fuck if anybody sees that gameplay. It's for fun. It's for the memes. If you don't see it, that's both of our losses, I guess. But it's not that big a deal. It's only for the select few who give a shit, and that's fine. It's the same thing with all of the jokes that get missed in the videos that I edit in. It's for those of you who give a shit, and for those of you who don't, that's fine. I don't expect you to care about all of it, but DSP does, and he's gonna make it as fucking obscure to follow him as possible.
You say, well, I don't get it. Why DSP Reacts? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, because I need content for the channel. Since now the clip show is retiring, you're going to want to see more than just one video a week of me eating food as a reward for hitting the goal streak, right? So
tuna sandwich, if DSP's on Thick Boy Network next year with Brendan Schaub, I'll actually delete the channel. I don't think that I would be able to keep up with how fucking stupid those conversations would be. I might actually have my brain explode.
Acts over the week.
You're talking about the king of CTE with the king of Gin Brain.
Already monetized. Meaning, anything I upload to that channel will get ads on it. I have the ability to get, paid memberships on that channel. All of that's available. As opposed to if I were to make a new channel, let's say I were to start a whole new channel on YouTube called DS Politics, right? Guess what?
Guess what?
I'd have to start from scratch.
Oh,
I'd have to start building a subscriber base. I'd have to start building a viewer base. I'd have to start building back to get people to watch content on it. And that's going to be a major pain in the ass.
Okay? Heaven forbid.
It's going to take a while. I don't really have the clout or the viewership that I used to.
Then you don't deserve the money. I'll never understand wanting to reuse the React channel or any of his channels for that matter to push out content that people may or may not want to watch, specifically so he can make money off of it, because it won't give him an accurate representation of people who are actually interested. And that should be far more important to him. Right? You would think if you're going to do a new style of content that doesn't necessarily vibe with the content that you already make, wouldn't you want to know accurately how many people are actually interested in your content? Not the inflated numbers of DSP Reacts that have a bunch of dead subscribing channels on there still? Why would you want to artificially not understand the fucking content that you make and how it's being perceived? It seems stupid, and it's all in a desperate pursuit for more money. Literally pennies on the dollar sometimes with the amount of views that this guy gets. At Redbird, I apologize for being so late on the 2 with you saying, I'm so happy that stupid React show is going away. I think everybody is. Everybody should be celebrating and grave dancing with the death of DSP Reacts, or at least the clip show. And then Michael A.E. with the 279 Canadian. Walk me to my DoorDash, Papa. You're finna have to ask Jay, dude. I'm not really a numbers guy. Never have been.
It's not like overnight I could snap my fingers and be like, monetize this channel, YouTube. It might take months. Now,
And it's very clear that that's all he cares about. He doesn't actually give a shit about making the content. His very first thought is whether or not he's going to make money on the content, which isn't how you should be moving into a new space. You're coming into an area where you don't know anything, you don't have anybody on your side as far as other content creators go, and you instantly want to make money off of it without actually putting out any of that content, without figuring out how you're going to structure it, or how you're going to present it, or even practicing delivering your takes in a more likable and approachable way. It's all about the money. I need the fucking ad revenue, you guys. It's such a bad fucking idea. In poor form.
I really want to be streaming political content for months and not making anything on it on YouTube at all because I'm trying to build a new channel up? No. All right. Now, there is one downside to everything that I have just talked about. There's one big downside to it. DSP Reacts is a very old YouTube channel. Before it was DSP Reacts, it was my old vlogging channel, which used to be called like the King of Hate Vlogs. And that channel existed for like a decade. All right. So the channel already has a track record and a history. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think that that channel is ever going to show up in the YouTube algorithm at all. I think that channel, because it's old, basically doesn't show up. You see what I'm saying? So
I don't think that it has anything to do with the channel being old, though, and more the fact that the channel is as old as it is with content on it that nobody watches and you don't upload to consistently anymore. I say anymore like he isn't still doing the React channel, like or the clip show, right? Like it's already canceled and done for. But nobody watches the content. It's not going to be pushed in the algorithm. I don't know that it has anything to do with the actual age of the channel. But it's DSP. He doesn't understand anything about YouTube.
oh, because of that,
And yet, you're right. See, if that's the case, then he should be making a new channel, not only so that he can accurately, grasp how many people care about his content, but for algorithm purposes, if he really wants people to see the content, I can't express enough how fucking stupid it is that he doesn't just have one channel where he uploads his stream archives to and then uploads clips to. That way his audience can have all of the content in one area in a way that's entirely digestible and sometimes in its original form with chat. I think would be the ideal way for DSP to do it, but he would never because it makes too much sense.
the only thing I can think of would be to make a new channel, but then the channel would not be monetized for probably like 6 months of work. And I don't think that makes sense. So I think doing it like this is the right way to do it for now. You know, maybe if I can build up an audience for the political stuff and people want it, then I can say, hey, we can make a new channel. But I don't even know if it's going to work. Let's be honest, right?
This is a 16-year content creator with a 200,000 sub channel and 2 other channels that have multiple thousands of subscribers. Why in the fuck would it take him 6 months in order to make a political channel for his clips? And not, why would it take that long to get it partnered or affiliated or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to get ads or whatever? Why would it take that long? It shouldn't. The prerequisites required really aren't that high, and for somebody of DSP stature with the audience that he has, he should be more than capable of doing that. He just doesn't want to, because not making money on shit content for 6 months is just out of the question for him. He absolutely needs to make those extra $20 a month on that channel. Of course, dude. Those videos, they're gonna go buku.
So rather than do all this work into designing a new channel, building a new channel, trying to get everyone to subscribe to the channel, I think I'm just going to leave it as DSP Reacts, and I'm going to put the political highlights in a playlist there. It'll even be say like DS Politics Highlights. And so you'll get a few clips.
War Dog Leader, I don't know what you mean by that.
Topics and interesting things that we're discussing on the political show. I think that would make sense. Okay. Now here's the other thing too.
And after 16 years of making content, you would think that he would be able, even if, he did have to make a new channel, that he would be capable of creating a piece of content that people would want to watch, right? I mean, you don't do something for 16 years and be shit at it indefinitely, right? You get better eventually, I think.
You realize that if I'm doing a politics show and I do it, let's say I do it for a bit and it works, I can actually get guests. Politics, everyone wants to chime in. So I could see if I can get people from all over the place to kind of come in and talk their political thoughts.
I don't think so.
On the show. I think that would be pretty neat. But that's probably something for long term. That's not something that's going to happen overnight. At first, I got to get established that I'm doing political content that people are enjoying, and then maybe I can get guests for the show. Do you understand?
And he's thinking like 6 steps ahead, trying to get fucking guests on a show that literally doesn't even exist yet. Like he's hyping up getting on, somebody like Destiny when he hasn't done any of the content. This is what I'm talking about. He is shilling this to his audience and hyping them up and explaining how all of this is going to work. And he has not done one single piece of political content yet. But we're already thinking about guests. And I can't help but think that this is just a desperate plea to get a guest on the show to try and get more eyes on his content, because nobody wanted to do the interviews. He told us outright that the Detractor stopped all of the interviews that he had lined up, and he's done dealing with it. So is this just the next desperate grift to try and get somebody bigger than him on his show to draw more eyes and make him and keep him relevant? I can't help but think that it is, just based off of the way that he's explained the situation. And it's definitely not what he wants. Because these people are going to tear him up if it happens. I don't think that he knows the space that he's trying to walk into.
So, and that's the thing. So someone just said, why don't you rename DSP Reacts to DS Politics? Because the whole channel isn't going to be politics. I'm still going to be doing things like DSP Tries It weekly, and that's not politics. I'm still planning on doing long-form React content on the channel. We're still going to have that discussion. We still got to talk about it and figure it out. Okay? So, yeah, once all this is figured out, then we can go one step further. But I feel like the best way for me to hit the ground running with the political stuff would be maybe once a week, an exclusive night stream on Kick. That's politics. We could even call it hashtag DS Politics of the Week. We have a fun 2 to 2.5 hour open discussion. I'll talk about topics. We'll watch news stories together. We'll talk about it live on stream. And then I clip that show up in highlights, and I upload those highlights to DSP Reacts. And we see what happens. Do people show up? Do people engage and support this show?
Probably not.
Or is it a whole flop? And you know what? If it's a flop, who cares? No big deal, right? And I'll tell you, right now.
And before he tells you,
what in the goddamn?
I just want to point out that once again, DSP is getting rid of more gameplay. The thing that he's been known for all of this time, his bread and butter, the things that he's always prided himself in, and the thing that made him different and made him popular in the first place, once again, he's doing less of. He's giving the people that held him down for all of those years and paid his bills, he's giving other people content over them to try and pander to a new audience. For what purpose, brother? Do you not respect your audience enough to continue to give them the content that they asked for? Apparently not. Apparently. Shades are Gucci with the 5. He can also felt anyone who brings up non-political DSP stuff. If he can land anyone, it'll be his safe place. Can he felt anyone who brings up non-political DSP stuff? I mean, all of those are still going to be relevant in the political space, because I'll fucking tell you what, they don't care. They will tear you asunder for all of your shortcomings, political or not. It doesn't matter. I don't think it would be a safe place, aside from him muting or leaving the call in a tantrum. Like, these people are mean. It has to be that way. That's why I said I don't think that he genuinely understands what he's walking into. Yeah, okay, he'll just kick him. He'll kick them and say it's off topic. Exactly. That's about the only way I can see it going. Big ups for the 5, though. And Wesley H with the 10, talking about how he'll get guests on his political show after failing to get guests on the level 1. It's like buying clothes for when you lose weight before you work out at the gym at all. He's delusional. Absolutely. Absolutely. He thinks he's playing chess when he doesn't even understand how to play checkers. And that's the game we're playing. Like, he's just way out in fucking left field, and he has no business being there because he hasn't accomplished what he was supposed to in the first place.
Now, the first topic that I want to discuss as part of DSP politics, or DS politics, excuse me, is what just happened in that U.S. presidential election. Why did the American people vote red over blue? What happened? Because it sure seemed like in the mainstream media and in all of culture, everyone was saying no one liked Trump. Trump is an evil dude. He's Hitler. He's a convicted felon. So how did he just win the presidency? That's the first topic that I want to discuss as part of DS Politics. And I think that's going to be a great opening topic to start the show running. And then we can go from there. And by the way,
and that just goes to show you how much he actually knows about politics, or just generally what people think in the real world. Because I'm going to be honest, I think you're a bit delusional if you thought that it was going to be a landslide and everybody agreed one way and were completely caught off guard by the fact that it went the other way. I just don't think that you know what other people are talking about or what they're experiencing outside of the internet. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I don't want to be mean now, but
on my show, it is not going to just be big politics. I might talk local politics. Here in Washington State, we have all these hot topics that are going on all the time. And I always follow them and I talk about them to people like my wife, but I've never openly talked about any of this stuff outside of that. So now this will give me a venue to actually talk about local politics, world politics, you know, everything.
And he's just acknowledging here that he doesn't actually have any sophisticated political takes or hasn't run any of them by anybody other than his fat ass wife. So, like, we're going to get the most unrefined positions in history, and we expect that to sell. That's what people are going to want to watch, is some absolute fucking disconnected from reality clown give his level 1 takes on things that he doesn't understand and hasn't run by anybody else. How fucking robust and cool is that? Like, that's going to do anybody any good. You might as well go listen to your 6-year-old cousin tell you about who he wants to be president as opposed to DSP, because he might actually be more informed. And let's not pretend like anybody gives a shit about DSP's local politics in the area around Seattle. That is the least interesting content to anybody not from that area, and I can't imagine that anybody's actually going to click on the content for it. That's wild.
It'll be quite interesting. Okay, so there you go. Now you might say, well, Phil, when is this going to happen? I could do it this coming week. This coming week coming up, we could do it. We could do our first ever DS Politics stream on Kick and see how it goes. But the thing is, the one key factor here, I want to be sure that I don't basically do it the same time as Keno Casino. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, those guys giving me a chance like they have, right, involving me in their content, has helped me so much, has given me confidence back, has given me an audience back, has given me a chance to be positively viewed by the world and the internet again.
Jesus
I owe those
Christ.
guys a lot.
DSP, just suck him off live already. He's hitting him with the fucking Gluck Gluck 9000. He's fucking slurping right now. Jesus, dude, calm down. Calm down. They had you on a stream. It's not the, like, you don't owe them. They shouldn't be fucking your wife, brother. It's not that deep. It's really not. And he's giving it all he's got. Guys, I owe them everything. They really put the resurgence into the world, you know? They spoke it into existence. They gave me a shot. You sound fucking lame. You sound like a bum. It's like embarrassing to grovel at another man's feet like this, let alone 2 of them.
I'm not going to now say, oh, I'm getting into politics. Let me start a show that's directly going to conflict with them. And now they're going to have viewers who are crossover viewers who are going to be, oh, what do I watch? That's fucked up. I'm not going to do that to you, and I'm not going to do that to them. They're the big fish. I'm a little guppy like this, and I'm jumping in. They're the big shark that's going around. They had over 7,000 fucking viewers last night for the politics show. I didn't know that. I jumped on the show. And they're like, Phil, are you aware you're on a show that's like over 7,000 viewers? I was like, no. That's
Why
the
is
most
that
I've ever
relevant?
had a live viewer on me before. I never had 7,000 people watching me before like that. You know what I'm saying? So I owe them a lot. I'm not going to now shoot them in the foot or shoot myself in the foot and then backstab them by doing this. So I need to coordinate and talk with them about what their schedule's like and figure out a night that they're not broadcasting. And that would be the first night where I'm going to premiere DS Politics on Kick and go from there.
And I've said this before. I don't particularly like streaming over other detractors streaming. I don't personally like to do it, but I'm not going to get on here and tell you guys, well, guys, Detractor Beam is giving me everything, and I really don't want to stream over their time slot. So I'm going to make sure to coordinate with them behind the scenes in order to make sure that we're not like splitting the audience or anything. Why would I do that? If I'm actually genuinely worried about that, I will just do that behind the scene. I'm not worried about that. Fuck Snood. I'm kidding. But you don't have to tell your audience this. You don't have to embarrass yourself and do this weird humiliation ritual publicly like that. Just figure it out behind the scenes. I don't know why he insists on making himself so fucking lame online like this. Like, he's not going to get clowned for it. But he's going to be upset when you do it.
Okay? So, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's coming this week. It's just a question of when. And I will talk with them. I will talk with them today or overnight or over the weekend. I'll try to get information from them, and hopefully they'll know at least a rough schedule, because I'm going to tell them I don't want to fuck you guys over. And we'll see what happens. Okay? So that's my idea. I hope that sounds.
And even wording it like that, it's not, hey, I don't want to split the audience. I don't want to pull away from you guys. Like, you know, I know that we share some viewers. I don't think that it would be very productive for either of us if we streamed at the same time. I don't want to fuck you guys over. Like actually getting fucking bitched out by Keno Casino.
It's good. It seems like most people are saying at least give it a shot. Like, I don't see anyone who's outright saying, oh, fuck. No, this is terrible, because you see, I'm not going to have it affect my content here on this channel. I'm still going to be here. Every other stream next week, I'm still going to be here streaming games, covering the PS5 Pro. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yak Almighty says, try to do it ASAP. People have short attention spans. You're right.
Good morning, Kanye.
And that's why I'm definitely doing it in this next coming week. Obviously, tomorrow I'm off. Friday we're booked. I'm off Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, we got these days that are already kind of booked, but I'm absolutely doing it. I just got to talk with these guys and figure it out.
I've just realized I missed 2 Gengar greens, and I am so sorry for that, Sir Green. He hit me with the 5, saying Phil needs to save his ego. Phil needs to have his ego inflated enough to make him cocky enough to want to debate people. Now that is content I think that people could get behind, specifically detractors. That is actually good content in there. It might be a slog to get through, but there is comedy in there for sure. Thank you for the 5 earlier. And then with the 2, these kinds of delusions are a real problem. The dude does legitimately need help. Like, as much as we want to clown and have fun poking fun at a DSP, the reality is he is completely delusional and needs help. Like, he actually needs a reality check from someone who cares about him to set him on the right path. The problem is he's 42 years old. He's an adult that will never change and has never changed and has no interest in changing. And those kinds of people you cannot help. They need to want the help, and he will never. So that is just the way that it's going to be. And Michael, AE, this with the 279 Canadian, he's not worried. He wants them to boost him. You know, when you put it like that, that's actually a good point. It's not that he's concerned about stealing from them or them stealing from him, but instead, he wants them to push him because they're not on. I didn't think of it like that. That's actually a good point. Thank you, Michael AE. It goes to show you how two-faced he is, if that's true, though, that he would lie to you and pretend to care about the Keno Casino only to up his own monetary value. That's kind of whack as fuck, but it's, I guess, typical for DSP. Thank you for the 279 Canadian, though. Come on. I'm kidding. We love Canadians.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I really hope you guys will come and support it. Because if I get big support for it, that invigorates me to care more about it and want to do more with it, as opposed to if I do it and we get 100 viewers and I make $10. Yeah, you see what I mean? It goes hand in hand. So let's see how the content does, right? Okay. Yes, the gold streak will be in effect. Yes, it will. My streams are my streams. It will out, just like the React streams are part of the gold streak. The politics stream will be part of the gold streak for sure. Yes.
Now, I only wish that the goal streaks were still like the sunglasses, the hat, and the vest. I couldn't imagine taking any political commentator seriously if in the middle of discussing like the deep problem with the economy or PDF files and big government or something like that, and he goes, hold on, guys, we just hit the $50 tip goal and it's time for Gunner Glasses. Oh my God, would that have been just the best? It would have been the best, but now it's gone. And we'll never have it. It got taken away from us just like that. It's bullshit, really.
Okay.
Yo,
right.
Begging mid-argument would be fucking crazy too, though. Mid-debate and just being like, okay, Destiny, I hear what you're saying, but if we could just take a look right here, as you can see, we have not hit the tips goal today. We only have an hour left in the stream. Okay, so if anybody, Destiny, you can tip if you'd like to hit the goal. If we could just hit the goal before we leave today, that way we can eat, the Steak and Shake burger. I don't think that they have Steak and Shake outside of the Midwest. So anyway,
here we go. Two last names. 19 months as a member. Says, I'll give it a watch. Well, thank you, two last names. I appreciate you giving me the benefit of the doubt. I really do. And I received a $5 tip from Darth Fig. Hold on. It scrolled all the way down.
Oh no, it scrolled away. However,
So here
we
we
bring
go.
it back.
Let me go ahead and excuse me. Let me go ahead and
Oh
wow,
my
that was
god.
disgusting. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and get you up on the leaderboard here and play you an animation. Thank you, Darth Fig. So Darth Fig says the following.
Thank you so much. Popper lives 34 links for the 5 months. Big ups, brother. I appreciate it. With the prayer hands even. Hell yeah. And Retro Jim with the 8 months, saying, so the viewers with no interest in politics now have to support content that is directly tied to gaming goals like Stellar Blade. Yes. If his gaming audience still wants to see DSP tries it weekly like he's been doing, they absolutely have to go and support the political content on a completely different platform than they want to use. Absolutely, yes, sir. That is the expectation. And anything less would be goddamn ridiculous. This is DSP Gaming we're talking about, okay? Best streamer in the world. You know this guy has a 16-year-long content legacy, okay? Put a little respect on the name. Jesus. Thank you for the 8 months, brother. Big ups.
Politics is such a risky topic. I grew up
They
in
have
New
Steak
York.
and Shake on
Now
the
I
East
live in
Coast. Very
Texas.
cool.
Easily.
Very cool. I
I've
thought it
had
was a Midwest
majority
thing.
of people that I knew for years delete me off of their social media because of my difference in political views. You are absolutely positively right. That's why, number one, I don't want my political content to permeate into my gameplay. It literally will not be on DSP Gaming at all. Get it? Like, this channel will always be, let's talk about games, let's play, let's enjoy each other's company, an escapist attitude from reality. You want to look at the politics stuff, head over to Kick, or watch the highlights on DSP Reacts, but you don't have to ever be inundated with it here. It'll be different. It'll be separate. I absolutely want to do it like that. It's just
Again, it's short-sighted to think that that's gonna be the case, to think that your political audience is not gonna come and ruin things for other people. He's delusional if he thinks that that's gonna happen. It's gonna be an issue. It has to be an issue.
bizarre that everything has worked the way it has this year, because here's why. I never intended any of this to happen. I never intended. Oh, what's up, Jade? How you doing, man? You can talk on PC again? It fixed again? Thankfully. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, thank
People
goodness.
have been having an issue. They think they're shadow banned in my
Guys,
chat.
Jade's
It's not.
back.
YouTube is having some bizarre issue where people talking on PC couldn't talk in my chat. But then they went on mobile devices and it worked. It didn't make any sense. Well, welcome back, Jade. I'm glad you're back and you can talk. And everyone else, I think Maxwell was affected. There was a few people who were all affected. So
You're right, Chudgu. He does turn into Mr.
but
Rogers
anyway,
when Jade
no,
is around.
I hear you. I hear you, Darth Fig. Yes, that's why I need to separate that content. And I never intended this year would work out this way. I never thought I would have a crossover with guys who were critics of mine who then met me and actually liked me. And now we're doing content together. I never thought there'd be a crossover between audiences. I never thought that I'd have
There really
increased support
isn't.
to the point where now I'm actually good off and I can get a new washer dryer and I can buy any game I want and I could possibly buy a new streaming PC. Never in my wildest dreams did I fathom any of this would happen. But it's all coming to pass.
I'm by no means some successful content creator. I don't want to put that, perspective out there that that's the case. But I think that most people who do stream and make content fairly consistently, they accomplish all of those things. They buy the games that they want to play. They replace their appliances in their house when they need to be replaced. They collab with people that they want to collab with. I don't know why this was ever some sort of unattainable aspiration for him. All of these things should have been more than capable of being done, regardless of whether or not trolls existed. I don't know. He puts himself into this corner that he just doesn't have to. Like, he just rolls over so frequently online to any sort of opposition. It's a wonder he logs on at all anymore. Like, the greed must be massively strong in order for him to fight through what he fights through every single day to continue to make the shitty content that he does. If this is how he feels, like everything is an impossibility. Christian C with the 2. Thank you so much. If Kamala won, would DSP politics exist? I don't think so. I genuinely think that part of him feels more comfortable giving his political takes with the current side that is going into the office. I think that that's the case. I don't think he would have done it otherwise.
It's pretty insane. and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you for the
Hard
two,
Nose,
Christian
this is
C.
a $2 super chat. Off topic, you should do a gaming stream with Zanid. Yeah, Zanid seems like a cool guy.
I don't even know who that is. Was
He's,
that other obnoxious guy on
I know
Keno?
he's a Keno Casino fan, and he's come over and he's hosted me a couple times on Kick, and he hangs out in my streams, and he seems like a nice guy to hang out with. I don't know. I don't know how I can get in contact with him. That would be pretty cool, though. Maybe putting together. You know what I want to do? I want to play more zombies, and I don't have anyone to play zombies with. So maybe I could coordinate with him and we could put a group together to play zombies or something, right? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be crazy, playing zombies.
Contact me or I could contact him. I mean, you guys know how to reach me. DMs on Twitter, or you can email me, darksydephil@hotmail.com. I might be down for that. I actually want to do some zombies.
Then play zombies.
Oh, here we go.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Any moment.
So.
All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely not playing Dragon Quest 3 Remake right now. Right now, we got to choose between modern RPGs to play. I'm not going to be playing that one right now. Dr. Kinnison thinks going political isn't a good idea. You've worked so hard to get rid of detractors. Diving into the political pool opens Pandora's box. But again,
100%, 100%.
This is not going to be all of my content, correct? This is going to be like a once-a-week stream where I save up interesting political topics. I announce them ahead of time so you guys know what's going on. I can do like little promos for it. And then when we do it, we tackle those topics, but the most of the week is still going to be my gameplay and that stuff. You know, the political stuff will feel special because I'm only going to be doing it every once in a while. You know what I mean? And the other thing is...
that doesn't stop trolls and detractors from shitting on your political takes. It doesn't matter if you did it once a year. When that video releases, you're going to get dunked on. It's going to be an issue for you. The amount of time that you spend doing it is completely it's completely unimportant to the fact that you're going to get shit on and you invite people to dunk on you. That's what the comment or that tip was trying to get across to you. Again, it's just like right over his head. He can't even comprehend the idea.
Again, I want you guys to understand something. I'm not a focused... Jade, I'm getting rid of the fake Jade. I'm getting rid of them right now. I'm not a guy who's focused one way or the other. Like I said, I'm not all the way left-leaning. I'm not all the way right-leaning. Some people say I'm centrist. I don't know about that. I really don't. I feel like with politics, there's sometimes that I feel one way and sometimes that I feel the other.
Amazing.
But I'm not totally in agreement with like either side. So I think my takes might be interesting to people because you'll
super
hear
interesting
things that are not all from one party or the other. It's not that tunnel vision approach. That pretty much that's almost what every single content creator doing politics has done. They're either way over here or they're way the fuck over here, and there's no one willing to kind of be like the mediator between. I kind of want to tackle things from like between. You know what I mean?
So again, DSP just demonstrating that he is actually completely unfamiliar with the landscape and the channels that already do this. He doesn't actually know how they operate or any of the takes that they have in preparation for his own content. Just like gaming, he has no idea how anybody does anything else. So his is obviously the best, and he's not lacking in any one way. But I think that the reason that you see all of these political channels that lean so far one way or the other is because the people that watch that kind of content have such a fervor, are so passionate about it, that they flock to these spaces and they make them relevant. They make them bigger channels. That's why you see that. There are, I think, a lot of other smaller channels with more nuanced approaches, like DSP is describing.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
But apparently he's completely unfamiliar with all of them. I'll never understand going into an area like this and not understanding how other channels do it or the approaches that other people take. You can't imagine the amount of detractor content that I watched before ever making the fucking content because I didn't want to show up and look like a complete ass. I mean, I did anyway. Trust me, I did. It looked like shit. It sounded like shit. But I mean, I at least had an idea. DSP has no idea what he's doing. None at all. Supreme Commander Baser with the 2 of all Trump voters. DSP is the only one who's garbage. Well, I appreciate the 2. Thank you for the input. DSP didn't vote though, so I don't think that that's an accurate statement. He's not allowed to, stupid. He didn't register.
So, but we'll see how it goes. All right. By the way, Naftali has done a $5 super chat and says, DSP, you have shown you can outclass, outwit, and drain the streamer swamp. They tried to sabotage you and they have failed like Trump. DSP for president. I think what he means to say is they failed like people tried to sabotage Trump because Trump just won, right? So there you go. Thank you, Naftali, for a $5 super chat. I appreciate that.
Did DSP drain the streamer swamp?
Good morning, Kanye.
I mean, did the detractors and trolls fail in fucking up his image? Because if you believe what he said, I believe the day before, maybe it was the day before that. It was definitely this week. The detractors have ruined his image so bad he can't even get people on to interview. So who won out in this instance? Going based off of what he said, I would imagine it's the trolls, but I don't know. It's following DSP logic. Good luck. Christian C with a 5. DSP politics will be clueless, uninformed political takes like most of the country that doesn't follow politics. Super unique and interesting, dude. LOL. Yeah, well, I think not going all the way to one side or the other is literally how most people in the country think. I think a lot of people lean one way or the other on depending on the topic. And the fact that he thinks that this is some sort of unique and groundbreaking idea, it just, again, shows you what he thinks of other people and how they behave in the real world because he's so disconnected. He doesn't know how other people think. And because he couldn't.
Okay. See, now here's the truth, all right? This is so silly, right? They call me Drax just said, grow a backbone, dude. Pick a side. Fence sitting is cringe beta shit.
True.
You
base.
are
Base.
what
in the goddamn?
You are a caveman. Ooga fucking booga.
That's fucking racist, by the way. I heard that shit. Brother, you're not allowed to say that. Even if you're not meaning for it to be racist, the implication... And also, everything that follows this is kind of wild to begin with. But, like, actually, I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Scratch your armpit, go outside, bonk a woman on the head with a club, drag her into your cave. Because it's the only way you're ever going to mate. If that's your fucking actual way to think about life, you're incredibly unevolved.
Okay, so taking a hard stance on something and stating your opinion equates you to being a grapist style. Let that sink in. That's DSP's official stance on the matter, as he said on his own stream. Now, take this instance, something that's actually not that big of a deal, and I'm blowing out of proportion on purpose to exaggerate. Now, take this instance and imagine the absolute shit show that any other political commentator could create, given this footage in a political sense. It would be a nightmare for him. He would never stand a chance. He'd be getting felted all day long, every day, to literally compare at like people who take a stance on something to being a troglodyte caveman rapist. Very, very cool thing to say. A very good position to put yourself in. Awesome.
Okay? What a stupid fucking thing to say on my stream. Really? Holy shit. Like, dude, you don't have to be one side or the other to be pertinent or to be right or wrong or to even have someone listen to you. That is the easy way out because you will always have everyone on one side or everyone on the other who has your back, but then you make enemies, right? You make awful enemies because you're always saying the other side's completely wrong. I don't feel that way at all in my real life. Like, I think that sometimes there's things that the Democrats are for that I'm totally for and in agreement with. I think there's sometimes that there's things the Republicans are for that I'm totally in agreement with. There's other times that I think both sides are completely batshit insane and that someone needs to get some rational thought in there. Because a lot of the times these people just think with emotions, you know what I'm saying? Instead of actually getting in there and saying, well, how can we actually make this work? How can we make, you know that we're not always going to see completely eye to eye. So how do we just make life work so we can all coexist? Rather than, if you don't agree with me, you're my blood feud enemy, and now we must kill each other like we're the Hatfields and the McCoys, right? It's crazy shit.
And again, not an absurd take to have by any means. In fact, I think that it's a fairly normal one to have. The issue is that it's nothing new. It's nothing original. He doesn't actually offer anything in saying this. And he thinks that he does, and he doesn't even tell it in a compelling way. He's not going to convince anybody, given the way that he speaks. He's not a good storyteller. He's not convincing. He's not likable. He doesn't appear to know anything, even when he does. So what is he going to offer in this space? The answer is nothing, and that's why it'll flop and nobody will watch it. This is why it's important to know the field you're going into.
So I want to approach it intelligently. You know what I'm saying?
At Maximus with the 5. Thank you so much, brother. DSP's probably the dude that thinks political leanings are a flat line and not a 2D alignment. Someone asks him if he's authoritarian or anarchist. Oh, do they? I hope that that's the case. I hope you're not lying to me. But yeah, DSP's political understanding is very shallow at best, very underdeveloped. Again, the type of thing that you could hear out of a 12-year-old who just started learning about politics. It's actually that underdeveloped. Just like all of the rest of the takes that he has in all of his content. It's just behind.
Am I going to run for president in 2028? Yes, or at the very least, I'm going to be running for governor of Washington State. So I need to prepare myself. This is what this really is. This is my education and preparation to become Mr. Politics. And what will happen is I'll try to get all of the online communities to start backing and voting for me. Much like how President Trump, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. He got Rogan's, buy-in. And then boom, he's elected. So
he got Rogan's buy-in. He was donating at the end of the stream.
There we go. Trump has done awful things.
He said, Mr. President, if you play Stellar Blade, I'll give you 40K.
We can't go wrong. The only thing is I need to get convicted, I guess. Then I'm fast tracked to the White House. There you go.
And I see the discussion in chat. Yes, DSP does genuinely think that having strong convictions and standing by your morals is the issue. Now, I'm not saying that you should definitely lean one way or another at all times, but I do think that it's important that you believe in what you say and say what you believe, and you fucking stand there and while taking into consideration actual valid arguments, you again believe what you fucking say. I do think that that's important, but DSP does not. He thinks that you should flip-flop on a dime whenever you see fit because it's going to fit your narrative. That's the way that the country should work, obviously.
But there you go. That's what I mean. I think my show would be different. I really think my show would be different. I don't think it's going to be Phil, Mr. Republican, Mr. MAGA Trump, and it's not going to be Phil, Mr. Lefty, liberal blue,
shout out Lefty
rainbow guy. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be a guy from an honest perspective giving you opinions, and sometimes it's going to go one way and sometimes it's going to go the other. Some nights people might love me, some nights people might hate me, but that's the nature of politics. And by the way, I want to make this abundantly clear. When I talk politics on a stream, it's going to be open discussion and everyone can express their opinions, unless you're kill someone. Then I'm going to ban your ass. But everyone has a right to speak their say and to get some time and to be listened to. You don't have to be agreed with, but I want to hear perspectives from all over the place. I don't want it to be an echo chamber of, oh yes, only this one thing and we all agree with you. I'd love to hear differing perspectives, you see?
And how is that going to make for good content? You're going to have one guy sitting here live streaming his shit-ass political take that is, again, underdeveloped, and then he's going to be arguing with a bunch of trolls in his chat about politics the whole time? How does that make for good content? Where is I guess the entertainment value is there for the trolls at least, but as far as actually making good content goes, you're not. You're making bad content at that point. That'll be a shit show. It'll be completely off topic the majority of the time and nonsensical and cyclical. That's not the type of shit that you should be posting or even wanting to make. But that's how he's advertising it. Wild.
You know what's absolutely hilarious about all this? We got people who are they actually think I'm an ultra liberal dude, but I lie about it or I hide it. And then there's people on the other side who are Phil is a really staunch, conservative, but he just won't talk about it because he doesn't want to offend the people who thinks he's a liberal, right? Okay, you know what this reminds me of, honestly? For one console generation, I played on the Xbox 360 for most of the time because I thought it was the superior console.
Okay.
And then the next console generation, I played on PS4. So when I was playing on the Xbox, I was told that I'm an Xbox fanboy. And then when I switched to PS4, I was told, man, you're just such a Sony pony, right? Then I started playing on the Xbox Series X, and I hear, oh, you're an Xbox fanboy. But you just said I was a Sony pony. But do you see what I mean? Like, excuse me.
And
This is how silly the whole thing is in politics, in gaming. This what do they call it? A tribal mentality where you have to be part of one ultimate leaning tribe of one belief or another, one product or another. No, you don't. No, really, you don't. You don't have to do that in life. That's ludicrous. That's stupid, close-minded thinking. Ooga booga. That's
oh my God, he did it again.
Thinking.
He did it again.
You know, I don't understand why I can't move.
And I fucked it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking 12:39. We were in here somewhere. The Ooga Booga caught me off guard.
Open the foot and then backstab them by doing this.
Oh no, that's way behind. What the fuck? Oh, because it's frozen. I'm gonna. Never mind.
We do get some support, so it is odd that there's none. I get set up for of all things. What am I playing today?
You missed the fucking pause button by like one little centimeter, and all of a sudden,
became a member. I believe
everything's a
Xbox
shit
Series X,
show.
and I hear, oh, you're an Xbox.
Okay, so these are the types of political takes that you can expect from the guy. He's going to equate your politics to being an Xbox fan or a PlayStation fan. I really hope that sells the content for you. I really hope you like all of the gaming analogies that are going to be made, because they're totally going to be relevant. Of course. That's what I wanted to pause and say, but of course I messed it up.
Xbox fanboy. But you just said I was a Sony pony. But do you see what I mean? Like, excuse me. This is how silly the whole thing is in politics, in gaming. This what do they call it? A tribal mentality where you have to be part of one ultimate leaning tribe of one belief or another, one product or another. No, you don't.
Alright,
No,
I really do hope that he makes
that
everything gaming related.
That's stupid. Close my.
Oh my God, could you fucking imagine the streams if he got on and he was talking about how one political party is like the hell gas from fuck is that game called? It's not Resistance, it's the Kill Zone. That's that one, right? I don't know, I didn't actually play that one. They just look cool. The hell gas look badass, okay? Could you imagine though? That'd be awesome. We'll start comparing all of the all of our ops to the Covenant from Halo, of course.
Thinking. You know, I don't understand why I can't move. My wheel is shaped like a square. Why isn't my car moving? Because you're a caveman idiot. Turn it into a wheel, and then you can actually fucking move, right?
I like that he had to show you what a wheel looked like, what shape it was. It's round, you guys.
CJ
in case you didn't know.
SRT10, who just became a member. I believe that is a legit membership.
Fuck DCJRS10 or whatever. This clown. I got personal beef with this fucking delusional idiot. Left a comment ages ago, actually regarded as fuck. RTU fan, by the way, turned DSP fan. I'm outing you, bitch.
And that will count for $3 this morning.
Actually fucking brain dead.
So thank you for that. And then Naftali just did another $5 super chat. Says, we're all human DSP and we make mistakes. You have what it takes. This is going to be exciting. We need DSP, the gaming governor. That's a sick goal to aim for. The gaming governor. The governor who live streams. Yes. Streaming live from the state capitol, it's Phil Burnell, governor of Washington. Wow.
All right.
And then
yeah,
once you're
great
governor,
joke.
then
Great
you can
joke.
be president. It's true. That's right. My first official act, I hereby ban online pattern play from Street Fighter 6. If I catch you using a pattern,
Big
you're under
T-pose.
arrest.
I need our
There you go.
president to T-pose more often. I think he would get the game. I think more political candidates would get the gamer vote if they just T-posed on stage. I think that's the way forward.
All right. So anyway, so now you guys know the deal. You know what's going on. All right. Allow me to speak with the casino boys. I want to see what they're up to in the next week. I literally have no clue. In fact, I haven't even watched.
Fucking fruity the way that he talks about talking to the casino boys. Like, don't say it like that. Stop it. That's the reason people make fun of you. again, he goes out of his way to be a fucking weirdo, to say things like that. It just doesn't need to be done that way. It comes off as weird. Normal people will find that weird, I promise.
Their shows this week. You know, sometimes I'll jump in and I'll tune in and I'll see what they're up to. I haven't this week. I've been too busy.
Happy Lula to weigh in on that. A pose over T pose, 100%. A posing is for the base.
I don't even know, you know, what's coming next. So allow me to convene with them, figure out what's going on. Hopefully I can figure out, you know, what's going to happen with their streams. And I would like to do a night test stream on Kick of a political talk separated from, you know, my other content and see how it goes. Naftali with another $5.
I'm actually gonna run a poll real quick because I am curious. Are we T-pose gang or are we A-pose gang? I gotta know. There is a right answer. I've already stated it, but don't vote just because of me. Vote with your hearts, of course, as it should be.
Super chat. Thanks so much. Just watch out for Madman.
Oh, Y-pose is a good option, but it's already up.
If he gives you issues, don't worry about him. Most people don't believe
I think
him.
Y-pose would have won if I would have put it in, though.
I don't know who Madman Mars is. Maybe I'll be encountering them in the political realm or not. I have no clue what you're talking about. Madman Mars. Golden Mullet says those people who called you a fanboy are idiots. I remember you saying back in the day your old PS3 died. You played Resistance 2, which came out the first year of your YouTube career. Yeah, I actually did own both consoles when I became a YouTuber, but I leaned towards the Xbox 360 because I liked the controller better. I thought the online interface was better. The voice chat quality was better. I liked the achievements. This was before PS3 had them. So there were all these features that I liked of the 360 over the PS3, and that's why I played more on it, you know?
Okay.
But of course, as you know, that means I'm a horrible fanboy, and, you know, can't be
okay,
fair
fucking
to each
cry
concept,
about
right?
it. Jesus Christ. Like, if this is gonna be his mentality during all of his political streams, they're actually gonna be unwatchable. To give your take on something, explain why you feel that way about it, and then to go, but of course I can't say that because everybody's gonna be upset with me and say that, oh, you're just, you know, siding with the Republican Party because you're an evil maniac, fuck yourself. Like, if you're gonna do that every single time you give a take, don't get on the microphone. Don't hit the go live button. Don't launch OBS. Just stay in bed. You're wasting everybody else's time.
All right, so guys, we're going to end the show in like 5 minutes, and then we're going to get set up for, of all things, what am I playing today?
I'm closing the poll. T-pose wins. You're all wrong, but I still love you.
I'm playing Life is Strange.
I'll grant mercy this time. Don't disappoint me next time.
I don't think the timing could have been any more interesting. Right? But yeah, no, the game is pretty good. When it comes to the plot is getting interesting. Where we've got two different dimensions.
Wait. This just in. A mere moments ago, we've received in 6 trucks worth of voting on what pose. And as I'm counting them. Yes. 999 votes for A pose. Who would have thought in the final hour, A pose actually pulled it out? I'm gonna go ahead and rescind the poll results, and A pose wins again. Crazy. No, Lucky Limes. This was the recount. Okay, they just came in. I don't care if all of these votes are from dead people. The votes are the votes.
It's very, very weird but interesting at the same time. So I'm curious what's gonna happen in the game. You'll see when we jump back into it. And no, I didn't watch a Detractor clip. We didn't get to it today. Obviously, this political discussion took up most of my podcast. I know there's a clip that someone has sent me that I want to watch.
Yes, pig-explain the clip instead of just watching it like it's not a 5-minute video, please.
I think it's going to be a hilarious clip to watch on the show, but we didn't get it to today. I have so much content now on this podcast that, like, I have stuff that's backed up for, like, days and days, you know? Like, we are going to talk about a long-form React show for DSP Reacts. It's going to happen. I now have interesting input from 2 completely different people on what the show can be and how to make it work. I just haven't had time yet. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at this clip. We got all this stuff. I literally have the clip open on my screen right now. I'm not even shitting you. Like, I have it wide open, but we just didn't have time to talk about it today. But we will get to it.
Okay, but it's your show. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay.
Then do it.
Naftali with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Naftali. So this
Like, the reason that he never gets to any of his topics, the reason that he's so far behind on fucking gameplay, it appears, is that he spends 30 minutes addressing one $10 super chat. It's actually no fucking wonder you're incapable of getting anything accomplished, despite making your own schedule. It's so asinine. It's so stupid, dude. He's actually his own worst enemy all of the time.
gets Naftali now on the leaderboard for the top
Lucky
spot
Lime's
for
that's
super
sick.
chats.
Don't talk
Oddly
about his
enough,
pussy
we don't
like
have
that.
a single sub today over on Kick. That's weird. Usually on Kick, we do get some support. So it is
Super
odd that
weird.
there's
No
none.
Kick support.
So thank you, Naftali.
You guys better step it up.
$10 super chat. And Naftali says, one more tip for you, Governor. Have a great day. DSP, thank you. I cannot wait for your future in politics and gaming. You rock. To be clear, I'm not necessarily being serious about being a governor. Okay?
Huh?
Oh, I missed
What?
a sub. Oh, let me check.
I thought he
Thank you,
was
Perry.
being for
I did not see a
real.
sub earlier. Let me double check this.
I was gonna write in the guy next
It was Perry.
election
Perry,
cycle.
43 minutes ago, gifted a sub. Thank you, Perry. I missed it. So Perry is our one sub contributor over on Kick today. I'm sorry that I missed it. Let's get Perry on the leaderboard and add that to our contributions. Thank you, Perry.
Would I consider Pong Paddle to be an OG video game
Who's
character?
gonna beat Perry
no.
And the number of gifted subs.
He
He's
doesn't
only
have
got one, so who's
characteristics
gonna be
like personality.
the
I
first
can't
person
consider that a character.
to do 2 subs over on Kick today and unseat him, right? And who's going to unseat Naftali? And who's going to be bigger than that $15 anonymous tip, right? Who's going to make it happen?
All right, let me just pick my fucking nose in front of you while I ask for more money. Sound good? Jesus
Jade, I will see you
Christ,
tonight
dude.
for Call of Duty.
Just
I know
turn the
you are playing
camera
Life is
off.
Strange. You
It
don't
ain't
wanna be
worth it
spoiled.
no
Gotcha.
more.
Yeah, Call of Duty tonight should be fun. More multiplayer action. I'm really enjoying the game. Huh? What do you mean, Golden Mullet? He says, oh,
That's actually a fucking unga bunga noise he just made there. Let me run that back so you can hear the monkey style confusion that came out of him.
huh? What do you mean,
Mhm.
Golden Mullet? He says, oh. He says, I bet you have crazy fanboys that set with your border because Mario and Sonic, and they used to be heated contenders, remember? Back in the day, Nintendo versus Sega, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking
You're
about.
right.
Can you explain it to me?
AK tonight? No, Jade, we're using the Goblin tonight. I finally unlocked the thermal scope for it, and I want to try using a thermal scope and see how it looks with the Goblin, and then we're probably going to do other weapons. We'll see, though.
Oh yes, he went goblin mode in
All right.
Call of
Onos
Duty.
Techmo says, don't listen to
this
people
day.
saying don't do politics. You're great at this, and keep your momentum moving. And Gabriel, what's up? How are you?
I unironically enjoyed DSP saying he's like going goblin mode. Out of like all of the weird like youthful things that DSP tries to say, goblin mode is unironically one of my favorites. I just wish he would have been a gremlin instead. Big ups Kodak. He needs help, by the way. Kodak.
Naftali just gifted a membership. Thank you for gifting a membership on the YouTube side, Naftali. So with that, we have actually topped the $100 of support. We're at 101. So we're more than 2/3 of the way to our goal for the day. Thank you. Thank you.
Alice is not
Very
bald.
good.
Alice has a full head of hair. In fact, I used to have very long hair. It was only until last year I cut it. But
And Bruno, you can continue to do that. Bruno says, I come here to escape politics because I can't stand them. You will continue to do that because this is not going to be the place for the politics discussion. Like I said, I want to do this night stream once a week on Kick exclusively with some highlights. There you go. John says, I renewed my sub at the beginning of stream. Did you see it? Let me take a look. No, it didn't show up, John. So my bad. I'm sorry. It didn't show up in my feed. Well, thank you, John, for renewing your sub.
all right,
Or
big
your
ups, John.
membership on YouTube.
for
my
renewing
bad.
the
Yeah,
membership.
it didn't show up in my feed, which happens sometimes.
All right. Okay.
Corey Feldmania, that's all great, and we will do that on the politics show. As I said, we're not doing that on my podcast today, so I don't know why you keep pinging me for opinions. It's not going to happen. Yeah, Charles,
what did
you
he
missed
say?
it?
Let me read that out. Corey Feldmania says, I think the community would love hearing your thoughts on fiscal policy, monetary policy, and the history of policies during a politics focused stream. Okay.
Well, here's In a nutshell,
I was about to. Never mind.
I want to do a political show
Never
once a
mind.
week, one exclusive night stream, streamed
Just
only on my
move on
Kick channel, so that will
positively.
give exclusive content to Kick and actually bring more viewers over there rather than being split between YouTube and Kick. I'm going to leave it archived there, but then I'm going to have highlight clips that I'm going to make and upload to the DSP Reacts channel over the course of the week. There will
We
be
already
no
said
political content
this.
on this channel. It will not permeate the
Tell
gaming
him
at all.
to hit
Way
him
it's
with
completely
the
separate. People can just watch what they
LTG.
want, and
I
you
don't feel
have
like
to have
repeating
crossover
myself.
or
Rewind the
things
stream.
interfering with each other. And it's going to start later this week. I'm going to do my first ever stream. The topic is going to be what happened in this election, what made the Democrats lose when they had so much rhetoric saying that Trump was a bad person, and apparently all the polls and all the mainstream media claimed that Kamala was leading. How did she lose? That's going to be our first topic of political discussion. Okay? It'll be
And that topic is already going to be covered 9 ways from Sunday by the time that he gets around to it. So he's, again, not going to offer anything original or anything groundbreaking. He's just going to be repeating whatever he finds on the internet this week as slop for his audience to, you know, I guess slop up, for lack of a better term, right? It's not going to be anything worth of note. He's going to already have missed the boat because he didn't act on it fast enough. If he wanted to do DSP politics, it literally should have been Wednesday night after the election. He should have fucking full sold on it and just fucking went for it. But instead, he pussyfoots around and, oh, I got to figure out when the Keno Casino is streaming. And I have to hype it up for an entire week so that all of the topics that I'm interested in discussing are irrelevant again. How awesome, DSP. Very, very, very well planned out on your behalf.
interesting for sure. When
Is Fake Atlas back in the chat? I'll scream. I'll shout. No, it's Real Atlas that was in the chat. He was talking about Kodak Black again.
is it happening? I don't know yet. I'm going to
He
talk
no
to the
one
Keno
is
Casino
sex.
guys.
He just
I'm gonna
waiting
try
for
to
the
schedule
bus.
it so it doesn't interfere with their schedule. So there you go.
There you go. Oh, Snood got the Fake Atlas. He's
All right.
sent to Bane World. Big up Snood
Well,
for holding
folks,
down the down
Thank
down
you
the
for watching the
the
show.
fort.
What a show.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you hanging out with me here on the Level 1 podcast. I hope you had a good time. All right, now, let's jump back into games. My nose is itching me really bad. Oh, thank you, Hard Nose. Hard Nose says, I sent you Zanid's X account in your DM. That sounds good. Thank you. Okay, so thank you guys very much. Appreciate
All
you.
right.
I'm not here tomorrow. All
Yes.
right. But when I return on Saturday, I'm sure we're going to have a heck of a lot to talk about. I'll talk about stuff that I did on my day off. We'll talk about the status of my PS5 Pro, which hopefully will ship by then. And we'll talk about other stuff. But guys, what we need to figure out today, am I
This song
playing
fucking sucks,
Slitherhead,
too.
Or am I playing Dragon Age Veilguard on
The fact that
Friday?
he
'Cause I
talks
really
over
don't
it the
know
whole
yet. We gotta
time
figure
too
this
is
out
actually
together, all
worse.
right? Thank you guys so much. See you
Again,
next
Sims
time
4 ass
on the
fucking
Level
loading
1
screen
podcast.
music. Very cool. But that's gonna be it for today. We watched the announcement of DSP politics. I have no idea if I will be covering like it's some sort of fucking news source. I don't know if I'm gonna ever be watching or reacting to DS politics. I couldn't. I don't know yet. It depends on how shit of a show it actually is. I want to appreciate everybody for showing up today, hanging out. 730 of you, or so they say, right now. Big ups, absolutely. And I actually have terrible news. You're never gonna believe this. I've actually been lying over the past 2 weeks. I have to come clean. Okay, there hasn't been a burrito in 2 weeks. Okay, it turns out the wedding fund needed the burrito fund entirely. So. Again, 3rd week in a row now, no burrito. I'm starting to wonder if this is even worth doing at this point, but I just wanted to come clean to the audience. I know you guys really care about the burrito, and it's really unfortunate that it has to be this way. So, I know. It's heartbreaking. It's gut-wrenching. You all got scammed. You all got felted. You're all seething, and I hope to see all of you tomorrow on WPIG, 1651 at 8 p.m. Eastern. For Act the King. No refunds. Don't storm the gates to WPIG studios. They will be locked. There will be armed security. I love you. Be safe. Goodbye. And the stream.